to be politically correct and to brag about their diversity and commitment to inclusion and all that, which is all well and good. I mean, you would hope that just all of that stuff's natural and we all do it. But anyway, there's a big move on that, and there's nothing like highlighting our differences in everything there is, because that seems to be what politics does. But in any case, I often wondered, as a consumer advocate, do people care? Do people shop based on how they feel the company fits into their life and their philosophy? What do you think? And we did there's some analysis done, not me, but this one research firm. They went out and interviewed thousands and thousands of adults to find out who buys what and why. I can do my own experiment. I have some college guys in here today with K&H Home Solutions. They're interns. That would be cool. I'm serious. That would be cool. Is there a microphone handy, guys? Don't expect me to remember your names. I'm just going to call you A, B, and C. So I'll start with A. Seriously, what school do you go to? Yeah, you got to use the mic. Turn that on and off when you talk. Just make sure. Yeah, okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay, yeah,
Nolan. And then talk right into that, Nolan. Okay,
I can do that. I'm Nolan.
Where do you go to school?
I go to LSU in Baton Rouge.
What are you studying?
I'm studying marketing.
Marketing. Can you hear him all right, Shannon? Okay. Now, you are studying marketing. Pretty cool. Just point the mic to your mouth there. Just move it. You can move it anywhere you want.
I can do this.
All right.
First time.
What do you really marketing? I'll imagine that's changed. I had marketing courses. Tell me what you have actually learned about marketing? Really, what year are you in?
I'm going to be a senior next year.
Oh, cool. So, what have you learned? Have you learned anything? Really? Obviously, you must have, right?
Yeah. I enjoy a lot of the advertising side of it, consumer behavior, studying how to target markets and stuff like that.
Sure. Have you gotten? Is college marketing now? When I was in college, obviously, there was no digital marketing. Do you guys emphasize a lot of digital?
Yeah, that's a huge thing. I just took an entire class this last semester about online targeting, like search engine optimization, stuff like that.
Now, do you have professors that know what the hell they're talking about, you think? You like that? Cool.
Sure.
So, you're excellent to ask. Do you think, and I'm serious now, younger people, I wanted you to talk about the people you know and your people. You can give other observations. But do you make any purchases? Do you avoid or like companies based on what you think their personality is?
100%. Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there are mean companies or nasty or good companies or friendly companies. So, to you, companies do take on personalities?
Yeah, I mean, brand image is a really big, factor in.
Do you think it's a really big thing with people that you hang out with?
Yeah.
Is it a really big thing in your marketing class?
Yeah, we talk about brand image and having an identity a bunch.
Now, then talking like that, do you care about political stances of a company when they come out and see? Let me just tell you where I stand, so I don't submarine you, I don't sneak attack you. I think corporations are too wide and vast and various, and do not have the responsibility and should not to take political stands. And here's why. Who's going to take the stand? Is it the CEO? Is it the board of directors? Is it the management, middle management, some of the employees? Well, that's a bunch of crap, because it's made up of me and you and liberals and conservatives and in-betweens and people who don't care about politics. You know what it's made up of? Retirement accounts. Do you know most corporations are regular people? There's very few top-heavy people. They're regular people. What we do is we invest in a corporation and we put it in our 401k or IRA. We want it to make money. And we don't give a rip what they think, except obviously I personally do care about certain things. I do. I don't personally invest in certain things like tobacco and certain things. That's just a personal thing. But I don't care about their political or philosophical stances. And I think it's disingenuous for someone in a corporation to come out and take a stand. They're not speaking for the stockholders. those stockholders are varied across the country. Now, I'm not expecting you to agree with me, by the way, but I wanted to let you know where I stand before I start asking these questions so I don't bait you. So I'm thinking, I think it's immoral. And I mean immoral in a sense that you are not carrying the best interests of your corporation. Your corporation should make money. I don't think it should take a social stand. I just don't think it should, unless it's in the business of taking social stands. Like you are a company that makes, memes and things or T-shirts, and you take a stand. You're one of those companies. Again, I want to know, when you say you personally choose companies based on brand, what goes behind that decision?
Me personally, I don't make a lot of decisions based off of politics, but
Okay.
I know a lot of my friends and people I associate with have stronger political views than I do.
And they will, or do they make a choice? Well, are there certain cars they wouldn't buy because of the company? Are there certain clothing they wouldn't buy? Are there certain products they wouldn't buy because of a company?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of it is with my age group, it's just trends, and so you don't.
But it's a product trend or company trend?
A company trend for sure, because like, let's say super popular brands like Nike, Lululemon,
Yeah.
like you just buy it because your peers have it. You don't buy it because you research what they're into, and so
You just like the companies
Right.
because of the brand.
Mhm.
Okay. So when a company comes out and says we are for diversity and inclusion and we are combating our carbon footprint, we're helping with climate change and all of that, does it make a difference to you when it actually comes to shopping?
Me personally, no, but I think what that does is it empowers one group and it turns another group off. So it's
You're very smart. It does. Guys, real
splits it down
quick.
the middle.
Real quick. Now, number B. He's actually the owner's son. I should know his name. But anyway.
Yeah, my name's Kanan.
Kanan, go ahead. What do you think about marketing and companies and brands? What do you think? Buying decisions.
To be honest, I don't really think about it too much.
Okay.
I agree with what he was saying about trends and stuff like that.
It's just the brand or the product.
Yeah. And
You don't think about the company, the management, what they believe in.
No, I don't really hear too much about that to begin with. I mean, there's certain companies, I don't know if I should say, but
Go ahead.
like I've heard people talk about Chick-fil-A, and like some people don't want to eat Chick-fil-A for whatever their beliefs are
Okay.
and stuff like that. But
No, I've heard that too. Yeah.
but
I've even heard that said about Tesla and Elon Musk.
Yeah, for sure. But me personally, I don't think too much about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay? So when you do buy and you do shop, you just go by trends.
Yeah, trends are just like what I personally think is like a good quality product.
Okay,
or
I
like,
wanted to know, does quality matter to you?
Yeah, I think like I really like. He brought up Nike. I really like Nike. I think they make all like whatever I buy from them is always a good quality piece of clothing or stuff like that.
Okay.
And so if I'm gonna spend a lot of money on something because it is expensive, I know it's gonna be good quality and it'll last
All
me
right.
a long time.
Let's go to C. A, B, and C here. I'm sorry, guys. I'll get your name straight. Go ahead.
My name's Josh, and for the thing that they were talking about, brand image for me does actually matter. Maybe not political stance, but brand image itself.
Like what? Give me an example.
I don't know if I can give an example for an actual company off the top of my head, but let's just say Blizzard. Blizzard's a gaming company that they had a huge scandal a while back about them harassing female employees.
Okay, and that bothers you, right?
And I completely stopped purchasing.
Okay,
every
so
gaming
it does
product from
matter their kind of philosophy or what they let pass or okay.
because that's been going on at Blizzard apparently for many years.
Okay. Now, what about political stance? Then you care more about real issues like like how people are treated and all of that. But what about the political stance? If somebody takes a political stand,
Me personally, I'm not big into politics yet. I am 19, so
Yeah.
politics don't have a really big impact in my life. Maybe in the future I will, but as of right now, no.
okay.
It does not.
And so when you buy something, it's based on either the merchandise or, like you said, in that one company, they had a reputation for harassing females.
It's based on quality and just the company's reputation overall.
Okay, cool. That's very good. Now, I'm going to go to the calls. I have to take this break. So this question on real estate, get me primed here, Steve, and I'll answer. What is it about? Are you there, Steve?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What is your
I have a
question on real estate?
1031 exchanges.
Got it. Can you hold on? That's a big topic, and I'll give you the right information coming up. I'm Tom Martino. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Think Plumline Services. With quality brands like Carrier and always plumb crazy value. I use Plumline in my home on a mission of excellence. I have what this thing says. We'll go. Hold on. I got to do a couple commercials live here. What does he want to talk about? I don't see it. There's no topic here. QCcolorado.com. Yeah, that is one of my favorite products I ever bought. Why? Because it helps my home stay more comfortable, cooler, more. Well, let me just tell you what it is. It's this remotely mounted whole house fan. There's a remote in the attic so I don't hear it. And then it helps to even out the temperatures. Now, when it does that, my air conditioner works less. But there's something more than that. The air is never stale or stagnant. It's always fresh. In fact, you can use it on a low speed all day to even out temperatures and then turn it on higher in the evenings or in the mornings if you want more cool air. It is a wonderful product, and I urge you to call them. Why? Because I'm telling you, these people know what the hell they're doing. They got it done in a couple hours for me, and you'll save money. Do it before the big heat comes, please. That's QCcolorado.com. QC, I want you to look it up, QCcolorado.com. All right, I want to talk to my buddy Mark Szymanski at Genesis Total Exteriors. Now, Genesis does everything on the outside of your house, and that means they can put everything on the same invoice for your storm damage. And right now, there's a lot of storm damage. Wouldn't you say, Mark?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got hit last Thursday from Firestone down to South Aurora. And, you know, it's kind of an eastern part of those towns, but, you know, the east side of Aurora has just really got hammered. All along the airport got hammered. Greenwood Village got hammered. I mean, it was a big, wide storm that really hit us last Thursday. And there is a ton of damage out there. It was big hail, and there's tons of damage on roof and siding, windows, gutters are all damaged. In fact, I'm at a house right now. He has stucco damage from the trim around his
windows. And you do stucco. Now, I want to make clear that they should call you before the adjuster, because I'm a firm believer in a good contractor giving the homeowner an honest assessment of what they need and not relying on an insurance company. Don't you agree?
I do agree. And that way you're not calling your insurance company. If there's no damage, like I'm at a house now, the roof is in bad shape. 2 houses down, he has no damage. And so it's best to have us inspected first before you call insurance company, so you're not having a claim started on your home for no reason. So it's always better to have us come out and look. And then when the adjuster shows up, we should be there to represent you, to make sure the adjuster's catching everything that is damaged on your home.
You know, Mark, how many years? How many years you been in business?
24.
Now, I think I've known you almost the entire time, almost, because I remember having you out to my house right after you got in business. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509, 679-8509. Okay. So I imagine you guys want to talk about storms, don't you?
We could talk storms. We could talk fiberglass windows.
What would
we
you
could talk
What
financing.
Do you want to talk about? I want to talk about Alpine Windows too.
Sure.
Okay. Are you one of the biggest dealers or the only dealer?
We're the only residential dealer.
Good.
They do a lot of commercial and new builds. We're the only residential.
How long they've been around right now?
Alpine has been around for almost 20 years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Have they been in residential that long in this town?
No,
I hear you way off in the distance, but now you're fine.
Is Alumax the one that used to be made in Colorado? Are you around?
Do you want more level?
Maybe
No,
that was
Alumax has been made in Colorado. I don't
How's
know if
that?
it's the same plant, though.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because it was up north, and I thought,
Yeah. The other thing
how many factories can you have in a state like this?
There's not many. Not many at all. They're mostly in Ohio and Pennsylvania because that's where all the glass is made. That's where Cardinal is.
I like the kid that likes the Nikes. Cheap Chinese labor, baby.
The other thing that's big right now, Tom, is
I bet he's got an iPhone.
financing, just because of how high interest rates are too.
Let me put that down here.
What kind of
Go all the way
Epstein
up
Island
to
episode is
48
this?
months,
What's
no
going on?
interest.
Okay, I'm going to put that down. That's something to talk about. That's really important. What's your brother's name? He works with your dad? Yeah. You guys look.
Grim awareness.
All right,
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
potting you
look
up
like
if you
your
want to
dad.
introduce yourself into the mix. Hang on, brother.
I don't know his mom, but man, I can't see where she can be in there because it's all. They look like a spitting image of their dad.
Does your daughter look like, or your sister, your daughter, your sister look like your mom?
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Steve wants to know about a 1031 tax-free exchange. It's actually a tax-deferred exchange, but you take your gains from one piece of property, put it in a like piece of property. Your basis then is adjusted on that new property, and you carry your gain forward. So let's talk about it, Steve. What would you like to know?
Well, in 2009, my wife and I purchased a rebuilt home, and we did it mainly because we moved our son into it.
So it was an income property, right?
No, we bought it, and he moved in it, and that's pretty much that, and he's still in it. But
So you didn't declare it as a
would like
residence,
to-
though, right? It's not a residence. Is that right?
it's not a primary residence now.
Is it? Do you call it a secondary residence? This is important. I'm asking for a reason.
Yeah, no, we really never declared
Anything.
the name for it.
Okay, good.
No.
Keep going
And
then.
we've never profited from it. We just maintained it, normal stuff. But anyway, we are in the process of moving to another county. And we would very much like to be able to exchange that property that my son lives in for a like property in that county.
Yeah, but when you say a
Yeah,
like property, you're moving your primary residence to another county. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
You're selling your primary residence, right?
That's correct.
So you want to sell your primary residence, plus you want to sell this the secondary home, and you want to take all of that money and buy a new home.
Well, no, we want to buy two homes.
Okay, that's what I need to know. So you're selling your home and buying another primary home. Then you want to take your
That's
son.
correct.
Then you want to sell that home and buy another second home.
That's correct.
Right, because with your primary residence, you don't have to do any exchange. You get $500,000 exclusion with your wife and you.
Right.
So on the secondary
There's
home,
no
you don't.
question.
On the secondary home, you don't get any exclusion, and it might be deemed, unfortunately, an income property, whether you made income or not. Let me explain that. If you have a secondary property and you don't treat it as a primary residence, or you don't treat it as a vacation residence, there's a possibility there will be an imputed depreciation when you sell it, meaning that even though you did not take depreciation, it's imputed and your basis goes down anyway. Okay? So there's that possibility. I'm not sure, though, if you never took a dime and your son lived in it. I'd never had this situation come up where there are people who had a rental and never took depreciation and thought they had a higher basis, and they didn't. But no matter what, you can, the quick answer is that's very easy. No matter what your basis is, you can do a 1031, yes, into a second home. It's better, though, to declare that a rental, whether you get money on it or not.
Okay.
I mean, because otherwise you can't buy another house. I mean, it's got to be like for like, and you don't get to have two residences. Your wife can have one, and you can have one, or you can have one, and then the other one must be a income property. If it's a vacation home, you don't get any capital gains treatment. So, and it's not a vacation home. So make it an income property. You don't have to claim income, but that's what it will be. Now, so you're going to have a lower basis on this house because how long have you owned it? Since '09? My God, you have 10 years of depreciation. You're going to have a very low basis. We may want to get my accountant on. I might be telling you that you need to take depreciation when you don't, but I know one thing for sure. It can't be a resident. It can't be a residence at all because you can't have two. And you can't 1031 into another house. You can 1031 like for like. So let's just find out the best way to do that. And, Kachina, I don't know why after all these years, and I have people call in all the time. I used to have a 1031 expert. Did we ever keep the name of anyone? We've had people call in to say, I'm a 1031 expert. Have we ever kept any of those names?
I think I got one.
You got, Mark, well, thanks for chiming in, bro. I think that would be good. If we don't have a 1031 expert.
Yeah, hold tight. I'll find him.
All right. And if he doesn't find him, just on the off chance, then let's get our accountant on, one of our accountants on, 303-713-8255. So hang on, and we'll come back to you and get you an exact answer. But here's how 1031 works, Steve. You can do it. You can identify the house and then sell your house, or you can sell your house and then identify the house. You don't have to do it simultaneously. You just have to get an intermediary to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what my next question would be is, you have a referral for...
Now, I used to have a qualified mediary, intermediary or whatever they call it, a 1031 let's see, what do they call them? A 1031 broker I used to call them, but whatever. You have to have one to do it. Well, you don't, but you would be insane not to. They know how to do it. They know the ins and outs. They take possession. They then make the trade. Because that's really what you're doing. You're making a trade.
Right, exactly.
And the intermediary handles it. They take possession of one, and then they swap it for the other.
Okay.
So why don't you hold on, and we'll get you some answers on that specifically. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
Does he always sit behind the glass, or sometimes he's in here, isn't he?
Shannon?
Yeah.
No, we never let him in here.
Oh, okay. Who was the gentleman that was sitting over here last year? Older gentleman. I forget his name.
One of our helpers?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. It could have been anyone. I have a number of them. Deputy Doc, we call one. He's an older guy.
I think that's who it was, yeah.
He's a retired doctor. That's why we call
him.
And we have a lot of professional people, not a lot, but we have a group of professional people that are retired that help us because they're smart. You know,
Sure.
We have a doctor, an accountant, we have an ex-cop, we have
I think it was the
Red Rocks Roof and Solar. Let me tell you about them. RedRocksRS.com. Why do I love them? Because they know all about sales, installation, service, and grants. If you're a commercial operator, you can get a solar system with the REAP program that will pay for it 100%. No exaggeration. In fact, you can run a positive cash flow on what you sell back to the grid. That's for commercial. They can do residential as well, and you get a 40% tax credit with them, not just a 30%. They can tell you why. RedRocksRS.com, 303-704-2449. Euro Plumbing. You want to talk about some deals? Some people call them steals. You can get a water heater starting at $13.99. That's unheard of. $13.99. That's $1,399. That's right. You try to touch that with a plumber. They start at what, $6,000? Now, if you want a 50-gallon, that's only $14.99. In fact, they tell you to put them to the test with any plumbing thing you need. EuroPlumbingColorado.net, 303-668-6844. Retirement planning is something that I think everyone needs. The younger, the better. Now, What is a retirement plan? Well, it's not a 401k. It's not an IRA. It's not insurance. It's not investments. It's not any one of those things. It's all of them. What Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies does, and by the way, they're a sponsor, and I am a client. They help you build a nest egg. They help you keep it protected, keep it growing, and then turning it into income, along with legacy planning for your estate. They make quality referrals from our referral list, and then they help you with long-term care as well. All of the investments, what they do is try to give you a complete package and peace of mind. You ought to call them to see what they can do for you. rpcenter.com. That's Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, 970-663-3211.
Because your dad's saying face the camera for a picture.
What's that?
Lee's texting us. He wanted a picture.
Oh, he's looking at, So what are you studying? I didn't ask you.
Just general business.
What are you studying?
I'm studying data science.
Oh, cool. So give me an idea of what that involves.
Basically, coding databases, taking large amounts of data, running it through for companies, and just telling them what the data means because they get data from everywhere.
Everywhere.
So you have to interpret it.
Did you ever, as part of your course, study something called the first person ever to predict what was going to happen is Megatrends? The book Megatrends. See, people forget this guy. His name is Michael Nesbitt, and Michael was from Boulder, and he wrote a book. And I remember reading it so many years ago, before computers were even that popular. And he said the number one commodity in the future will be data, and those who control the data. And he said this when people didn't know what the hell he was talking about. They're thinking libraries. What is he talking about? I mean, this is how advanced this guy was. Very smart. And he wrote mega trends. He foresaw everything. Everything. Google it all. He knew it was coming. Now that is what you call a futurist. And now people talk like data. Well, yeah, data. But this guy saw it. I don't know if he did anything to capitalize on it, but he sure as hell saw it coming.
It's coming. It comes into everything. Sports now too. Multi-billion-dollar decisions all made on data. I mean, y'all have
Everything is. Everything is.
Yeah. You can assess it to make sure we're using it properly.
Gathering data, though, some of it's faulty. You got to gather it properly.
Yeah. We took a whole lot of time in December making sure that data wasn't coming in.
The best kind of data gathering would be data that's not influenced by voting. I call it voting. A lot of times people don't tell you the truth or give you the truth when they know they're being extracted. They use data as their personal little power trip. I'm serious. When you seek feedback or what people look for, it becomes more of a philosophical thing than a real thing. I have an interesting phenomenon about that with ratings in media. How I'll tell you how data changed with that. That's Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. WaterPros.net. WaterPros, the best water systems ever in your home, at your kitchen sink, $1,400 for the best drinking water in the world. 303-862-5554. If you think about your body, supplements, health, exercise, you got to think about water. WaterPros.net. Hey, let's talk, okay? We have Claudine. She has a follow-up. Claudine has a 2018 Cadillac XT5. She took it to the dealer with an AC problem, and they said the thermostat was stuck open. They charged her $1,800. So she later on talked to someone who said, I could have saved you $400. And I told her, you really can't do stuff like that. I mean, you can, but there's not much we can do about the original shop that charged her $400 more. Now, there's something called unconscionability, let's say that she went to a guy and he charged her $6,000 and it should have been $6. I mean, obviously, the common man would say that's unconscionable. But where this guy tells her after the fact, well, I would have saved you $400. I said, Claudine, there's not much we can do. And I don't even recall that we took this on as a problem, nor did we contact them. But you're calling us with a follow-up? What's going on, Claudine? Let me bring you up here. I'm sorry, it's my fault. Go ahead, Claudine. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hi, Tom. I contacted a Cadillac dealer in Colorado Springs, the one that did the work.
Yeah, the one that was a little high price, yes.
Yes. And I told him about the Cadillac dealer in Greeley, where I live, that I had talked to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I talked to the manager there at Red Noland in Colorado Springs. He said he would check it out and call me back, which he did. And he had contacted the Cadillac dealer in Greeley, and then he notified me that Colorado Springs charges quite a bit more per hour for labor because of the location. And he did get down to the baseline that they did overcharge me for labor.
Well, when he said overcharge you, I thought he just said, though, they charge normally more in Colorado Springs, right?
They do. They do charge quite a bit more.
But did he say he charged you more than they usually charge, or just overcharged compared to Greeley?
He just said that they checked their records and they charged too many hours.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
So they are going to send me a substantial refund.
That is wonderful. How much?
$473.
Exactly what you thought. Now, so this is very interesting. He said we have a higher labor rate, and of course, everyone can charge whatever labor rate they want. But he was honest enough to say it wasn't the labor rate that was wrong. We charged you too many hours.
Yes.
That's very good that you took that into your own hands to do that, Claudine.
Yes, and I'm glad he was very honest with me.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did that despite what I said, because I never thought of that. I thought about, oh, yeah, people charge different stuff. They can. I never even dreamed it would have been in error, literally charging more. But that's good that you checked. It's good. You saw a discrepancy and you checked. And Claudine, my hat's off to you on that one. That's very good. Thank you. Yep. We got a dinger, but it's not my dinger. We have to give that dinger to someone else. Thank you, Shannon. However, that dinger I don't deserve at this point. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Mark, did you come up with a 1031 person?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the CEO to call back. We had him on a little, a while back. The company is 1031X. They're all over the country.
Okay,
and
good.
The owner or CEO is Sean. I should be hearing from him pretty soon, and we'll get him up.
Good. Meanwhile, I have Ed. Ed's a good guy. I've known him for years. Ed Tomlinson. He's a real estate broker in town. And Ed, you have a comment. What's your comment on the 1031?
I do. I don't know if you're familiar with 1031 DST. DST stands for Delaware Statutory.
But what would Delaware Statutory whatever have to do with us here?
You can 1031 into that, and it's similar to a writ, but it's private.
Really?
So if you got
wait. So you 1031 into a company out of Delaware?
That is correct.
And then what do they do?
They do big buildings, apartment buildings, everything that RITs do, except it's private.
Now, once you but once you trade into it, you own part of a REIT?
Yeah, a private REIT, yes.
But then that doesn't get you the money to use for another house, though.
No. So if you've got a bunch of rentals,
I see. If you're not interested in buying something else, if you're simply interested in reaping some of your money and reinvesting it, you can reinvest it into a REIT and defer your gain, is what you're saying.
Not a REIT, DST. A REIT is not legal. for a 1031.
Oh.
Delaware Statutory Trust.
A statutory
And when you get
okay,
your-
very interesting.
when you
Never
get
heard
your
of that
expert
before.
on-
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That's why I called.
Delaware
When you get your
Statutory
expert on,
Trust.
ask him about it.
That's very
Delaware
cool.
Statutory Trust.
I'm going to ask the other guy about it. That's very cool.
Now,
Thank you.
There's some requirements. Some of them require $1 million net worth. Some of them require $2 million. But it's just like a writ.
You know why they require that, right? It's very simple because they're doing the qualified investor, the qualified client versus an accredited investor. Probably they need to make sure you're qualified. It's not open to just anyone. That's probably why they're doing
Right,
it.
and I think the 25,000, 50,000, a couple hundred, each one has different options for you.
Okay.
For the investment.
Do you know people? Do you know people have done this, Ed?
No.
Okay.
It's too new for me.
All right. Thank you very much, Ed. Appreciate that. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Fran, what's happening? Fran?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good. What's going on with you today?
Okay, well, my son owns a condo, and he's like the middle condo. There's someone above him, someone below him. His tub is draining very, very slow or not draining at all. He had a plumber come out. They snaked it. They could only get so far, but they didn't get like any hair or junk or, gunk out of his tub when they snaked it. So the guy said, well, you're probably going to have to remove your tub, and then we'll have to go from there. We're concerned that the problem is not even with him, but it has something to do in the condo building.
Yeah, that's probably true. It's in fact, it's most assuredly that, because here's why: in a condo, what you have are very small service lines. A service line means the line exclusive to the condo. The line exclusive to a condo can't be any longer than the condo. I mean, it's a very short line. Everything else is a common line. The problem you're going to have, and in fact, they should have restrictions on snaking drains in a condo because you can screw it up and then you'd be responsible for it. But if they're letting you do it, there's nothing wrong with exploring it. However, if you have a problem with a common line, the problem you're going to have is getting the HOA to do anything about it because they just don't want to spend money.
Right. I don't know what to tell him.
Well, here's what I want to tell him. Here's what you do first. Have them go and do his service line. And then if after they get to the common line, it doesn't work, then he'll have something to tell the HOA. And then if it is the service line, if it is one of the common lines, then other condos have to be feeling it. It can't be
Who is
just...
he? You said have him.
What's that?
Who is he? You said have him.
Oh, her son.
Okay.
Like have a plumber do it? You mean like?
Not most anybody on referral list isn't going to go out there. I just wanted to get that out there before you said that.
And tell them why, Mark.
Well, because they can screw up that main line.
Exactly. Okay. It's very difficult to get people to work on stuff in a condo beyond the walls of that condo.
Okay.
Mark, they would do a local snake right there, but they won't
No, they
go.
wouldn't. Plumb line, for example, or fix it will not go into a commercial building.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm not saying no one on referral lists. There might be somebody. Master Rooter might because they do commercial as well, but they might not do condos.
Did your son call the HOA or the management company and report this?
I don't know.
Okay, that's what you do first.
You know what I do first, Tom? I do something different.
What?
I'd pour some freaking Drano down there.
That's one thing. Yeah, liquid plumber I like.
Yeah, I told him pour a gallon of it down there.
Well,
Put everything you have to down there to clean that
listen,
drain.
I'm serious when I tell you this. I love liquid plumber. I love it.
It works.
I love it. But you got to let it set. And then repeat it and be careful.
Yeah, you let it set for like 15, 20 minutes and hit it with hot water.
I'll tell him to keep trying.
Now, hold on, though. If that doesn't
I know
work,
it's not him. It's something else. And It's just too expensive.
Let
to
me
go
ask you
beyond.
this: are other areas draining slowly?
He had a problem with the dishwasher at one point, and they were able to get that cleaned out.
Yeah,
and
the
I said,
dishwasher's
what
a
about
whole
the washing
different. That's a
machine?
whole
What about
different
the
thing.
Sink? What about the toilet? Are you having problems? And he said no.
Then
Just the
I
tub
don't
is draining
think I think it's local with the tub. That's what I think. I think it's hair and gook and all that crap. And I think Mark's right with that liquid stuff. Have him try that. But then before you do any snaking, you contact your HOA management company.
$1981, Alpin was founded, so 43 years.
Are you shitting me? They've been. I've never heard of them.
I think it's mainly because they do commercial and new builds.
No, but I mean, I know Liquid Plumber has
I don't
one
know if they
that's
got
made
into
exactly
the
for that
fiberglass
hair.
world until 20 years ago, but they make glass units, triple pane and quad pane glass units.
IGs.
That IGs that other manufacturers buy from them.
Okay.
And they do a European window that swings in, which we don't work with all that much. We work more with their fiberglass.
Nice.
Which has been around a while. In Louisville.
You're the only one doing the residential right now?
We reached out to them last year.
Hold on one second.
Yes.
The Art of Granite's very easy to do business with. Give them a call. You want countertops? They'll give you a price. But here's something very special right now. They have remnants. What does that mean? Like leftover pieces. Parts of slabs, almost all of a slab. You can probably do a small kitchen. You can do a bathroom, a bar top, or whatever. And get this, listen, you get the material free if you use his remnant pile. There's no bull there. That's theartofgranite.com. Free materials if you use the remnants. Or, of course, you can get better prices anyway there. So give them a call. Get a price. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. Theartofgranite.com. Ideal Home Loans is making loans because life doesn't sit still just because rates go up a little. But here's the only thing you need to know about Ideal. You go there because they have the interest rate guarantee, so when rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. It's that simple. So if you're looking to refi some of that high-interest debt, get some equity out, pay it off, and if you're looking for a new home, you can go to Ideal Home Loans with the interest rate guarantee, 303-867-7000. Nobody ever plans on being in trouble and needing a defense attorney. In fact, I hope you never need Joe Lazzara. But Joe is there for stupid people or people falsely accused. It doesn't matter. If you made a mistake, he's not going to judge you. There are people that drink too much. They try to calculate how much they can handle, or they smoke weed and drive, or they get into a scuffle with their neighbor. Whatever the situation, here's the bottom line. Joe Lazzara will take the case on free consultation and then flat rate pricing. No one else does that. And that's an incredible deal. Flat rate pricing. 303-429-6200, 429-6200. TikTok, what did it say?
It said a $1.50 nail file locked up at Walmart.
Wood.
Like, you know how they lock up everything now? Just like the cheapest things.
$1.50 nail file.
Why are they stealing fire hydrants? I don't get that.
I have no clue.
Decoration.
A traffic light?
I used to have a traffic light in my house. Didn't steal it.
Hey, Kelly.
I'll never forget the video I saw.
Sorry, she's back.
Hey, Kelly.
Yes.
I want you to call Steve with 1031X. He's going to be our expert. Keep his info. When you hang up, get his info. I'm not going to give you the phone number here because it's his cell phone. I'm typing it in right now.
Okay.
But call him right now. He's waiting for your call. That is not the number to give out for the company. So you've got to ask him. Don't let Tom do it.
Okay.
That said it all right there.
And then update our sheet so we have him as an expert.
Yeah, man.
Copy.
Did you guys have to do a lot of remote learning?
Only in high school.
Oh, you were in high school at the time?
Yeah, we were junior.
How many years ago? It wasn't that.
2000.
Shit, it was 2020, wasn't it? Wow.
4 years ago, yeah.
That goes quickly.
For us, it was only the second half of our junior year. Our full senior year was in
Where'd you go to high school?
North Georgia.
Oh, you're from Georgia?
Yeah, we're all from Georgia.
You're not from Georgia. You are? Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255-888-heating.com has the risk-free service fee, $28 to service one item in your home, whether it's plumbing or heating or cooling or your whatever, anything, electrical, and they'll come out and service it, your panel, your toilet, your water heater with a flush or whatever. And then if you need more work done, they credit you the $28. That's how it works. It's that easy, and they're great people. 888-heating.com. Okay, so Josh has an issue with a neighbor. We also have K&H in the house we haven't gotten to yet, but some very interesting things in the window business, like crazy stuff. And I love when you get a local company, like I call it the oldest home improvement company in Colorado that I know of, and then you have an old established window maker going into the residential world, and then you have them team up. That's cool. Josh, what's happening with you, Josh? Welcome. Our number, by the way, is 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Or, of course, you can always call 303-MARTINO. Hey, Josh, what's happening?
Hey, Tom. So I share my very back fence with a city property where they store, like, the snowplow trucks and everything in the service vehicles.
It's called the yard, yeah.
And so today and about 3 weeks ago, because I work from home a couple days during the week, I noticed them in the back burning stuff. And when I peeked over the fence and saw it, it looked like they were burning old, like police evidence. It was brown paper sacks with red tape on them that they were throwing into an incinerator. And, you know, the smoke with the wind was going all over the place, at times wafting over our house.
Did it make you high?
And no, I hope not. But I am a little bit concerned if they are burning drugs or possibly clothing, you know, what kind of stuff, you know, they're letting out next to our houses.
You would think,
sort of recourse?
That's kind of crazy. Like, it's just an open kind of fire, or is it a sealed incinerator? What is it?
From the outside, it almost looked like a 50-gallon, a little bit larger than a 50-gallon metal barrel on, you know, like a cart type thing. And they were, you know, it looked like they were feeding it with wood, but it, you know, it almost sounded like a very muted, quiet jet engine for a better part of 2 or 3 hours.
And they had these brown packages with tape on them, like obviously wrapped.
That looked like, I mean, they were brown paper bags with red tape over them that, in my experience, are very commonly used for evidence at police departments.
And what city is this?
But Wheat Ridge.
Did you just call and ask?
I haven't. It just happened today, and I turned on the show, and I thought about it.
Man, I'll tell you what, I would be really curious. If you don't get any answers, call us back, but just call them and say, what the hell are you burning back there? Was there any kind of a particular foul smell or anything, or are you just suspecting it?
I noticed it a couple of times, but the wind direction was changed. It was quite variable, so it wasn't all the time blowing.
Would you do me a
right
favor,
at
though,
us.
Josh? We will keep track of this call. I'm going to write it down. I really want you to call me back. In fact, during this show, if you can, call him and just ask him in a friendly way. I'm curious what you were burning. Give me an idea, and then call me back. We'll investigate it if you don't get the answers. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up.
In life, we're always looking for an advantage, and the same goes with real estate. That's why I recommend Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
With our advanced motivational marketing systems, we give you a very unique advantage in the Denver real estate market. It's simply the most innovative and proactive marketing plan you will find anywhere.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, urging you to use Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. With RE/MAX Alliance, 303-920-1622.
This is Dan Kaplis. There's nothing more precious than innocent human life, which is why I've spent the past 40 years standing up for the value of human life in wrongful death cases across Colorado. I have a 40-year track record of success fighting for the families of those wrongfully killed, which includes not only maximizing the money, but also helping survivors force changes that will help save lives moving forward. If you need my help, call 303-770-5551 or hit dankapleslaw.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
630 KHOW Denver. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. iHeartRadio.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Delaware, prosecutors in the Hunter Biden trial continued their case, alleging he lied about his drug use on a form in 2018 when purchasing a gun.
Hunter Biden's defense lawyer has been trying to poke holes in the prosecution's case, suggesting that Biden wasn't necessarily using or addicted to drugs on the day he purchased his revolver. An FBI agent confirms the pictures the jury saw of Hunter Biden with a crack pipe were taken months after he bought the gun. And defense attorney Abby Lowell pointed to evidence suggesting his client may have instead been on an alcohol bender at the time of the buy. There's nothing on the background check form about that.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy in Paris. President Biden arriving on the eve of D-Day commemorations in France, marking 80 years when Allied troops stormed the beaches of Normandy during World War II. And in Florida, after delays, liftoff for Boeing Starliner, 2 astronauts heading to the International Space Station in the first test launch for Boeing. This is ABC News. New York's governor putting the brakes on Manhattan's controversial congestion pricing plan.
An indefinite delay is the decision ABC News confirms Governor Kathy Hochul is making over New York City's soon-to-be-implemented congestion pricing toll. The plan was to charge those driving south of 60th Street in Manhattan starting Sunday, June 30th. Mayor Eric Adams says he and others had been lobbying Hochul for the delay.
This is a major shift in our city, and it must be done correctly.
Multiple reports say Hochul felt the timing wasn't right. Political fallout for Democrats in the November election and the city's continuing recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. Derek Dennis, ABC News, New York.
Jury selection beginning today in an antitrust trial over the NFL's Sunday ticket televised package. The league is accused of forcing fans who want to see out-of-market games to buy the package. Plaintiffs add that the way the NFL showed games on TV also harmed competition. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay. Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KHOW News Time, 11:03.
The woman left in the back of a patrol vehicle that was hit by a train will be paid millions of dollars. In September of 2022, Yurini Rios Gonzalez was being detained in the back of a police vehicle when an officer parked it on the train tracks. A freight train then crashed into the SUV, seriously injuring the woman. Rios Gonzalez's attorney confirms that an $8.5 million settlement was agreed to in the lawsuit against the Fort Lupton and Platteville police departments and the officers involved in the incident. The Broncos continuing their final week of voluntary organized team activities. The Broncos practice today and tomorrow to wrap up OTAs for the summer. Wide receiver Cortland Sutton has not attended any part of the offseason program. Coach Sean Payton was asked if he thought Sutton would be there for minicamp.
Yeah, I think he'll be here for minicamp. I mean, it's mandatory. And when I've been asked about Cortland, I'm going to say this, man, I just know his work ethic.
Minicamp for the Broncos will begin next Tuesday. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Some major delays on the south end of the Denver Metro and beyond. I-25 southbound at County Line Road. Roadwork blocking 3 left lanes with stop and go back from I-225. We're seeing a 35-minute delay. South of there, I-25 northbound, a crash blocking 3 right lanes just after Lincoln Avenue with stopped-up traffic back from Castle Rock. Otherwise, a pretty standard drive throughout the Denver area. One accident on the east end of town, Parker Road southbound before South Chambers Road. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, mostly sunny skies, hot out there today. High 91, overnight low of 55. Partly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 89. The current temperature in Denver is 82 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blindster blinds are custom made for your windows and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
You know, I tell everyone about my quiet, cool, whole house fan from QC, Colorado, because I want them to save on AC up to 90%. That alone will pay for it in no time. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. Let's talk about even more benefits, like clearing out indoor pollution quietly, efficiently, sleep in total comfort, all wirelessly controlled. QCColorado.com. 303-800-3419.
Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400.
Joining the conversation is one thing.
Thank you for taking my call. Taking my call.
But when doing so gets difficult, there's the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app.
Oh, cool.
How's that work?
Just tap, record, and send all within the app.
I was hoping maybe you'd listen to me for just a quick second.
We the people will always find a way.
Because everyone's voice counts.
We are still going to make that attempt. We're going to get out there and be heard.
On Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW. It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Wednesday for what appears to be a damning piece of evidence that might finally end it for Joe Biden. Democrats desperately trying to cover up. And why are so many people drowning in Colorado already this summer? How to make sure you're not one of them. Join us at 4.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. Come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So Steve called in earlier and said, I have a house. I want a 1031 the house. We had to get an expert on. Mark called these people 1031x.com, and we're going to talk to Steve from that company. Just a little thing about a 1031. Really what it is just a way to defer tax gain. What you do is you take your capital gains instead of realizing them and paying tax on them. If you make a profit on a piece of real estate, a 1031 allows you to trade that real estate into another piece of property where you transfer the gain into that next property, and you accumulate gain until you eventually sell it, and then you pay your taxes. So that Steve wants to know about this house. And before we got both Steves. Steve, the caller, and I'm just going to call him Mr. Hickok so we don't get him confused. Hickox is with 1031X Exchange. Mr. Hickox, I want to ask a question real quick. On a 1031, can you first of all tell us what does it mean like for like? In other words, you can't trade an airplane for a piece of real estate. You can't trade, I don't know, can you trade a factory for a residential house? Or what is like for like?
Well, the tax code says this. In order to qualify for a 1031, both the relinquished property and the replacement property must both be either held for investment or used in trade or business. But other than that, all real estate is like kind to all other real estate as long as that qualified use test is met, held for investment or used in trade or business.
Okay, so that's the $64,000 question with him, because he has this house, and I don't think it's a big argument. I don't think it's a hard argument to make it's held for investment, but it's not really a rental. His son lives in it. And so is that considered an investment property? He bought a house. His son lives in it. So would you call that an investment property? I would, right?
Well, here's the thing, and that is the best evidence of whether a property is held for investment is how you have treated it. How have you treated it on your past tax returns? So if he has put it on his tax return on his Schedule E and shown it on his Schedule E, that kind of concludes that it's held for investment. On the other hand, if he has never shown this on his tax return because his son has been living in it and he's never shown it on a tax return for any reason, then that makes it a harder case to prove that it's held for investment.
Yeah, I suspected something like that. So I want to ask that. I want to clarify this further. If he has a home and his son lives in it, can he claim it on Schedule E even if he does not collect rent?
Yes. The one more thing, and that is, again, the easiest way to prove that something is held for investment is you have it on your tax return and you collect rent. Then it's proof positive that you're holding for investment. Remember, it's always the burden of proof is always on the taxpayer to prove, in this case, that the property is held for investment. So the taxpayer has that burden when the issue arises. Did you hold this for investment or not? And it's based on, as usual, all the facts and circumstances.
Okay, now what about this then? If he has the house, his son lives in it, and he's never depreciated it, does Schedule E demand depreciation?
Well, the tax code demands depreciation.
That's what I meant. Yeah, okay.
An improved property that you're holding for investment, taking depreciation is actually mandatory.
Right. A lot of people don't realize that. And explain what that means if you don't do it.
Well, it means that it will be imputed to you when you sell the property. The IRS will treat it as if you had taken depreciation, even though you haven't. So your tax liability will be based on a reduced basis. As you take depreciation, of course, your tax basis goes down every year.
Right.
And they will presume that you did take it, and your basis will be treated as having been reduced every year.
Now, let's talk about this then. Is it too late for someone who's had a home? Well, no, my God, he's had it for so long. But let's say this. Let's say you've had it a few years. Would it be considered improper to do an amended return and say, I meant to call this an investment property?
You know, first of all, amending tax returns is the IRS doesn't respond very quickly when you file an amended return. You can't file it electronically. You have to file it in paperwork form. And the IRS just is not really very well equipped to handle amended returns. Yes, they do handle amended returns, but they're not very good at it. So if you file an amended return, don't think that you're immediately going to get the IRS's attention by having done that.
Okay, but let's talk to Steve then. Steve, since 2009, has your son lived there?
That's correct.
So basically, 11, 12, whatever years, and you've never received a dime in rent, right?
Right.
And
Exactly.
did you put it on your tax return?
No.
Steve, I'm telling you, that's a tough one. What do you think as far as calling it trying to do a 1031 right now?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of I'm just trading or trading up or trading down to another home in a different county.
But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, Steve. I mean, that's what you look at it, but the government has codes. I mean, we might look at it any way we want. I look at my salary as being a gift, but it's not. It's income. So, Steve, really, all joking aside, it doesn't matter what you think of it is. Steve, is that blunt enough?
Steve Hickox, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Hickox. Sorry, yes.
Yes. And keep in mind, though, that if you do a 1031 exchange and it gets challenged by the IRS, you're going to have to pay the taxes that you otherwise would have had to pay anyway. Plus, in this case, you're certainly not going to be penalized for doing this. So you would be required to pay the taxes that you otherwise would have had to pay on this transaction, plus the IRS interest rate on those unpaid taxes. So that's the risk that you're taking here. It's not an enormous risk. It's just taxes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So do you have people, Steve, often that, well, not often, but do you have people that do it and say, let's take a flyer and see what happens?
Well, as you can see, the definition of held for investment can fade into various shades of gray. So every taxpayer has a different risk profile that they're willing to take. Some taxpayers are like, gosh, I don't want to mess with the IRS under any circumstances. And others say, gee, this is a closer call than I thought. Maybe I'll go for it. And all we try to do is discuss with the client what those tax risks are, and ultimately the call is theirs.
Well, let me ask you this. Are 1031s one of the red flag things that might trigger an audit?
Honestly, no.
So what he's saying, Steve, not Mr. Hickox, but Steve the consumer, what I hear Hickox saying is, hey, you can go for it. What the hell? I mean, if it's challenged, then you pay the tax and you pay that's interest. It's not like you're trying to cheat anyone. And, Steve, I'll bet you your original purpose for buying a house was, hey, we can get an investment property. It's going to grow in value. And then while we're keeping it, our son can live in it. Wasn't that really your primary goal?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's a hard argument to make. But remember now, that house will be considered depreciated by 12 years or however many years, 13, 14, whatever. It's going to be considered depreciated. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
So how much is the house? How much did you buy the house for?
I think 110,000 or something like that.
Okay, so what is your house worth now?
Probably 400, maybe 425.
So now you understand you're not going to downsize here, right?
Right, I understand that.
So you're going to have approximately 300,000 or more in gain to defer. Just my rough calculation.
Right.
And how does that work then, Hickox, Mr. Hickox? How does that work?
Well, I'm just doing the numbers in my head right now, Tom. And so if he's held it for 12 years and he paid 110 for it, I'm going to assign 10 to the land and 100 to the house.
Yeah.
Meaning he started with a depreciable basis of 100,000. And the depreciation on that is 27 and a half years. I'm just going to use 25 and say that his depreciation should have been $4,000 a year times 12 years, $48,000. I know that was fast, but
yeah, and so it's right what I said. His gain is going to be right around what I said, probably, right? Just roughly.
Plus another $48,000.
The recapture.
Depreciation recapture.
Okay, you're right. You got to recapture, right? Okay.
Yeah,
so in other words, have you identified any houses, Steve, in the new county?
Yes.
How much are they?
Right around 400.
Okay. So if you transfer the gain into the new house, you then understand the new house's gain goes basis is way down, right?
Right.
So this sounds doable, right, Mr. Hickox?
I would say it's doable. And there's another thing that helps here, and that is when you report a 1031 exchange on your tax return, you show how much gain you're deferring. That's part of the report is how much gain am I not paying tax on?
Right.
And if he plugs in the reduced basis and takes the depreciation, in essence, on the reporting form to report the exchange, that will enhance his claim that this is held for investment when he actually reports the exchange.
Okay. Now, Mr. Hickox, do you have an office in Denver?
Yeah, it's on East Hampton.
Okay, Steve, let me give you his number. I mean, these guys are good, man. We had on the show before. The website is 1031x.com.
Yeah.
And here's his number. You ready to take it down, Steve?
Yeah.
888-899-1031. Isn't that nice? 888-899-1031. Steve, you know what? Kachina, would you make sure, let's get him on the show one day, okay? Let's do that. That would be, if you're around, I would love to have you on the show one day. That would be cool. Just come in and talk about exchanges. Now, do you do more than just real estate exchanges?
Well, after Donald Trump changed the tax law, I mean, I'm giving him too much credit there, perhaps, or blame.
Yeah.
It used to be that other tangible personal property was exchangeable, but after the tax code changes that happened under Donald Trump, the only thing that is now exchangeable, 1031 exchangeable, is real estate.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that takes the fun out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
But, okay, so really then, when you dispose of business property, like, I'm not saying that everyone's going to worry about this, but a jet or a yacht, you're going to pay on that. You can buy another one that'll offset some of it, but, I mean, you're going to pay on it.
That's right. We used to do airplane exchanges. We did fishing trawlers. We did classic cars. We did all sorts of other exchanges before the tax code changed about 5 years ago. But now it's just real estate, which has always been the dominant part of our business.
Thank you very much, and we got more coming up. I'm Tom Martino.
Zero Res, the best deal of the summer right now. 3 rooms clean starting at $119 and take $75 off duct cleaning. 303-471-5150 or book online. ZeroResDenver.com. Take advantage of these huge savings.
I want to talk now to my buddy Joe Chiano, and Joseph is a certified financial planner as designated by FINRA. This is a highfalutin guy. No, I'm serious. He knows a lot about finance, and I love picking his brain. And here's the good news. You get to pick his brain, too. Let's talk about that, Joe.
Yeah, Tom, it's going to be on the 20th of this month at the Sheraton DTC, which is on a Thursday. It's going to be at 6:30 p.m., and we're going to be talking about guarantees that can actually make a retirement a reality for a lot of people. Guarantees about income streams, and that's what people need today. Guarantees because people don't want to lose any more money. Now, you and I know that when we get to be in the golden years, Tom, people want to preserve their nest egg. They don't want to lose it to the volatility of the stock market. So what we're going to be doing at the workshop, we're going to be showing some actual numbers, So if somebody's 65 years old and they want to put in so much money into what we call the guaranteed pension account annuity, they can see the income stream that will be guaranteed for the rest of their lives. And on top of that, they can also get a bonus to begin their account. They can get long-term care benefits, which is absolutely almost mandatory to have right now because people are needing it. And the best part about it, we're going to have professionals at that meeting, like a tax CPA, a reverse mortgage specialist, and a Medicare and supplement teacher that teaches financial advisors what to do and how to advise their clients.
All right,
So
that says it all right there, Joe. I want them to call to reserve a seat June 20th, 6:30. You can go to mymoneymyway.com or call 303-779-6600. That's 779-6600. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney, and here's what I love about him. When you call his law firm to find out about hiring him, you talk to him. They'll find him. You'll talk to him. There's no intake counselors, committees, call centers. You talk to the lead attorney that will take your case because he has pledged to only take the number of cases that he can work personally. That means individual service. You get a cell phone number even that you can call or text at any time. That's how he does business, and you will love it. You can find John Fuller at myaccidentlawyer.co, myaccidentlawyer.co, or call 303-597-4500.
Is getting gas at Shell burning a hole in your wallet? Get the Drop app. With Drop, you can earn free gift cards just by filling up your tank. Download Drop now. Use code DROP88 to instantly receive $5 in points.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Think Plumline Services with quality brands like Carrier and always plumb crazy value. I use Plumline in my home on a mission of excellence with character.
He was the guy I had years ago as my expert. Mark found it again. That's cool. Steve Hickox. Yep. Today? Did they say 90 today?
Yeah, it's going to be 90 later. Hey, Shannon.
You're used to that shit, right?
Yeah. Are they even talking? I can't hear shit. Yeah, but I've lived in Baton Rouge, which is super humid, and Dallas, Texas, which is really hot.
Where'd you grow up? Georgia.
Okay.
Where in Georgia?
I go to GCSU, and I live in Alpharetta.
At khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Compass Insurance Group will do free insurance checkups, 303-996-9000. That means if you're wondering if you're overinsured, underinsured, not paying or paying too much, you got to call them, especially now with where insurance is, 303-996-9000. All right, so we have K&H here, and I wanted to ask about Alpine Windows. So Michael's with us from K&H Home Solutions. And I say K&H, Michael Bernstein, is the oldest home improvement company in Colorado, because I can't think of many that are 65 years.
68 years now.
68 years. Holy crap. Now, when I moved here, Henry Zeligerman was just getting out of the business. He started it. And K and H stood for Henry and his wife.
Katina, yep.
Yes, Katina and Henry, K and H. And then Ted bought the place, and then Ted sold to Lee. All good people, kept the heritage and the same company going. In fact, improved the company. So I like Alpin windows. For those listening, they're made here in Colorado. And they've been made here since 81, you say?
1981, Alpin was founded.
Right after I got to Colorado.
Louisville, Colorado.
Right after I got to Colorado, right. And so Louisville, Colorado, and they started making the insulated glass units and then the industrial stuff, and then residential for the last 20?
No, they've been doing new builds, so residential new builds for about 20 years.
And then retrofitting or replacement windows, you guys picked up on that.
Correct. Yeah, we're the only company working with them right now, and we'll do it with nailing fins or without nailing fins. So retrofit is normally what we do, but if we're going to replace the siding as well, then we'll put the nailing fin in there as well. But yeah, the only company they're working with as far as residential is concerned.
When you don't have a nailing fin, are they nailed through the frame?
Yes, correct. Yep.
And they're fiberglass.
They have two different lines. The main line that we work with is called their Zenith. And that is an all fiberglass window.
And it's insulated?
It is insulated, yes. And their glass technology is really what is second to none. They have triple pane and even up to quad pane glass.
For homes?
For homes, correct.
Holy crap. Really? Now, the frames. How is fiberglass? You said they have a couple lines. What's the other one?
The other one is called a Tyrol. And it is a European-style window that swings in rather than swinging out.
See, I think that's cool. I think that's a cool idea, by the way. And is that vinyl or fiberglass?
It's a vinyl window that's reinforced with fiberglass, so it has a fiberglass reinforcement on the inside.
Why? So fiberglass, tell me about it. I mean, I know about vinyl, and if it's extruded properly, done right, it's good. But what about fiberglass? Is that even stronger? What is fiberglass all about when it comes to windows? Are we talking real fiberglass, or are we talking about composite, which is better than fiberglass?
Nope, it's 100% fiberglass, so no plastics in there at all.
Okay.
It is 4 to 5 times stronger than vinyl.
Really? What about the tendency, not that there is a tendency, like I said, if it's done properly, but warping or peeling or chalking or anything?
That's the huge advantage of fiberglass. Fiberglass is what they call inert, and it basically doesn't accept heat and cold, and it will not warp. So it
just won't absorb heat. It won't reflect heat. It won't do anything. It just sits there.
Correct. It's a forever window. You put that in, and that is it. You're done for the lifetime.
Now, how does
it
hold a finish? Does it come pre-finished, or do you paint it?
It's a painted product. For all fiberglass, even if it's a white window, is painted.
Okay, so that's fiberglass. But as far as vinyl, vinyl is pre-colored, right?
Yeah, vinyl comes extruded and usually
in a
white
color.
or tan.
Okay.
But if you want a black exterior, which is very popular these days, the exterior would be painted on a vinyl window.
Black exterior in Colorado is insane, in my opinion. It's totally, absolutely insane.
It won't be black in 10 years. That's for sure.
And it's going to... Well, how does fiberglass... So if fiberglass, you get any color?
Fiberglass you can get, I believe, in 12 different colors. It comes pre-painted from the Alpin factory.
Okay, so that's cool. Yeah. That's really cool. So can you get black fiberglass windows?
You can. You get black, bronze, white, red, green.
Really?
Tan, different color tans. I would say what most people are doing is either an all-white window or a white window with bronze or black exterior.
So you can get windows with... I was going to just ask that. You can get a window with a different color on the inside than on the outside.
Correct. Both with the Provia vinyl windows that we carry and with the Alpin fiberglass, you can do a two-tone.
So you're still doing Provia?
Correct.
So the main lines you have, Alpin and Provia?
Correct.
Cool. Josh, I didn't mean to ignore you there. Josh, you called, and I asked you to call back. And I said...
Yeah.
Call the damn city and ask them what they're doing in that adjacent lot that you smell burning, and they're burning bags that look like evidence bags. What city is this?
Wheat Ridge.
Now, hold on. This is a tease. We're going to come right back to him to find out what the hell they told him and see if we can help.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary.
Oh, okay. I want to talk to John Fuller right now from his law firm, Fuller Law. And what we're going to talk about is the person at fault, if they don't have enough insurance to cover your car. Now, I know you do personal injury, but you handle these cases all the time as far as people, and people have problems with cars. And if that other party can't fix my car, what the hell do I do? Can I sue them? What do I do about it, John?
Yeah, so here's the thing, Tom. You've got to really be aware of the consequences of suing somebody in small claims court out of a, desire to not be jacked around by the insurance company or a dispute about liability. You can absolutely go do that, and you may prevail and get a judgment. However, there's two things you need to be always concerned about. Number one is judgments are just a piece of paper, and the body shop that you want to fix your car is likely not going to take that judgment and do anything with it towards fixing your car. So you still have to go out and collect that judgment, and that can be a very long period of time to get your money if you ever do at all. The second thing to be concerned about is that if you choose to go to small claims court and you're focused primarily on your property damage while at the same time you're treating for personal injuries and you plan on bringing that issue up at a later time, you may be surprised to find out that there is a rule in Colorado that says everything must be adjudicated in one case. And so if you have used that chit, if you will, in pursuing your property damage case in small claims, you may be forever foreclosed, meaning you don't have the legal right to pursue the damages for your personal injury case anymore because you went to court on just the property damage. So it's very, very risky to think that small claims court is going to be a trump card that you get to magically play on somebody, except in very rare instances. Most of the time, the amount of insurance coverage that people have, however abysmally low that the limits are in Colorado, might just be all the money that's available, and you need to protect yourself by having good full coverage that will pay the
Man,
balance.
that says it all. I never knew that, John, that if you have a personal injury case going on with me, let's say, and then I get pissed off about my car and go sue a guy, I could ruin your case.
Exactly. We call it pulling a Marc Magers, okay?
Yeah, when it comes to small claims, you can't do it, not with personal injury, not if you have an attorney like John Fuller working on it. 303-597-4500, 597-4500, myaccidentlawyer.co. We had a lot of storm damage. We just talked about it. excelroofing.com, one of my roofers for many, 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 many years, EXCEL. Let me just tell you something about them. They don't take a dime up front, not a dime, and they don't take a cent until you're content. But here's the real deal. When you sign with Excel, there are no penalty clauses either because they want to earn your business every day. They don't take money up front, and they give you full and complete contracts. That means every single detail of what you need on your roof before they leave. Don't ever depend on an insurance company to do that. And don't ever go with a roofer that wants money up front. And don't ever go with a roofer who says the estimate is whatever your insurance company will do, we will take care of it. So Excel Roofing does it all the right way. ExcelRoofing.com, EXCEL, 303-761-6400. Keel and Parker, estate planning attorneys. And I'll tell you why I like them. Because they do all their initial work free of charge with no obligation, meaning they'll interview you about your estate, what you own, where you're invested, your fine art, your vehicles, your business, whatever you have, whatever you own, and whatever your wishes are. Then they come up with a plan. And that plan has flat rate pricing. You can't take the risk out of it any more than that. You call them and get it all done at Keel and Park. That's lawkp.com. 970-818-8198. That's 970-818-8198. So what I have here, guys, are commercials interrupted with the show. So I have commercials briefly interrupted by the show.
Commercials means money, right?
Hey, Mark, are you there?
Yeah.
Did you realize that if you sue someone for the, like your car, I didn't realize that could screw up your personal injury case. I thought they'd be two separate cases.
Yeah, he's brought that up before.
Yeah, I know. That's weird. Okay. Well, in any case, that's a strange thing. Did you read the Wall Street article about Biden?
No, what'd it say? Oh, you mean where he's fucking bonkers?
No. They say he's losing it. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Renew Home Innovations. You want to talk about the best shower. You want to talk about Renew Home Innovations, tub to shower conversions, lifetime warranties on some of the finishes. I'm going to tell you, they do it in 2 or 3 days, 72 months to pay, no interest. Give them a call, 303-904-2000, or go to renewhomeinnovations.com. They do them custom, and they take out that old, ugly shub. That's the shower tub combo. That's renewhomeinnovations.com. So Josh, he sees these guys burning in the lot next to his house in Wheat Ridge. He says it stinks. It looks like they're burning evidence bags. What the hell are they doing? I said, call and ask. Just call and ask him. I mean, Wheat Ridge isn't a terrible city. Maybe you'll get some answers. Did you get any answers?
Hey, Tom. Yeah, after calling 13 different phone numbers, I finally found someone that actually answered, and they informed me that it was a police department drug burn that they were doing right there behind our house.
Wait, come on. They're burning drugs?
Yep, and so actually during the break, I was going through and just trying to see if I could find any articles talking about drug burning, some of the hazards with it, and I found
What kind of drugs? I mean, is it crack? What is it?
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't tell me. He just said it was a drug burn. But I did find, like I was saying...
Well, at least they were honest about it.
Article.
Yeah?
Yeah. In that 14 AP article, they mentioned that there's actually, I believe the EPA has regulations around pharmaceutical companies burning, I don't know, leftover expired products, but it doesn't look like those same regulations apply to police departments.
But wait a minute. Aren't some of these drugs ingested by putting them on foil and burning them?
That's my point exactly.
So you either get sick or a free high. I mean, this is crazy stuff.
Yeah. And what even blows my mind more is that it looked like it was one city employee and possibly 2 contractors that were doing it. And none of them were wearing respirators, and they were standing right next to the thing, which really blows my mind.
Maybe it was intentional. Did they call friends over?
Possibly.
Did they have music
Yeah,
playing?
right.
I mean, this whole thing
Big
could
old
be.
party going on.
Golly. Right now there are a lot of tweakers wondering where that is because they want to go out there and park their car, but we won't tell them. This is crazy.
Yeah, no,
Seriously. I mean, there must be some kind of regulations on that. Did you ask if there are any concerns?
No, but I am going to be going through and trying to find who's in charge of the evidence at the police department, and I'll be sending them an email as well as the city council, bringing up some concerns about the fact that they're burning drugs out in the open right here next to my house. I got 3 kids under the age of 10 that are on summer break and outside playing, and it's not okay to be having the city burning drugs, less than 100 yards away from them.
How about this? You ought to do a pamphlet, a one-page flyer, and give it to your neighbors. I'm serious, because you have some facts you just found out. Did you know this lot is burning drugs? I mean, are you concerned? If so, call me or something. Now, you may want to do. I would if it was my neighborhood. How many homes are around that lot?
There's at least, I believe, at least 3 duplexes, so 6 total households that back up directly to the lot.
Is this like a green belt, a big area that the city owns, or is it just a residential lot? What is it?
No, it's the city lot. I mean, they have a big old barn for their sand pile or their salt pile.
Hey, can you get some pictures of this for me? I want to make some hay on this.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Definitely. Help at Troubleshooter, right?
Help at our email, help@troubleshooter.com, and send me any pics or video, anything you can get on this. I'm serious. I can't believe. And when you email me, give me the address. I won't make it public right now, but just give it to me so I have it. That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thanks for letting us know this, Josh. So I'm going to wait to hear from you, okay? And he's going to take some video and stuff. And then I suggest he mobilize neighbors. It would upset me if they were burning drugs. I mean, it seems to me that's not a good way to get rid of them, but... Well, maybe it is. In maybe some kind of a controlled incinerator somewhere where it's not out in a lot where they pull a 50-gallon barrel out and throw drugs in it. I mean, come on. Kachina, we should call Wheatridge. Ask him what number he called. I think we should have somebody also follow this up. This is BS. I want someone to follow up. Find out the one number he finally got through to.
I would guess they know what they're doing.
Yeah, he's sending me his pictures and his contact information and everything that he has. So
Good.
we should
Mark, do you
have
think they know what they're doing? Come on, really?
Yeah, of course. Come on. What do you think? They're out there burning meth?
Who knows?
It's probably some weed, man, and maybe they've got a it goes through some kind of maybe it goes through something that gets I don't know, a filtration process.
He said it's a 50-gallon barrel.
It could be a really good barrel. I don't know.
Golly. I mean, it just...
How do you burn your stash?
I don't use it all. I use it all. I don't have any leftovers. And here's the deal, man. I'm wondering what kind of drugs. It's a drug burn. But what kind? I mean, I don't know. And how much do you think of that evidence goes missing now and then, from the time they take it from the evidence room to the fire? Just think about all that stuff. I can make you crazy thinking about this kind of stuff.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Major delays on the south end of the Denver Metro and beyond. 25 southbound at County Line Road, exit 195. Road work blocking 3 left lanes with stop and go back from I-225. We're seeing a 40-minute delay for folks leaving the Denver Metro on the south end. For folks coming into the Denver Metro on the south end, I-25 northbound after Lincoln Avenue, exit 193. A crash off on the right shoulder has slow driving back from Castle Pines Parkway. About 20 minutes of delays there. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, mostly sunny skies, high 91 this afternoon. Nice and warm out there, overnight low of 55. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow. The current temperature in Denver is 84 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 K-House.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus,
FixMyHome.com. Remember the website. It's for Fix It 24/7. And if I were you, we're going to hit 90 today. And I'm telling you, they're going to take this special away for new customers. So get it done. If your air conditioner hasn't been cleaned or serviced or checked or inspected, get it done. $39. That's the extreme clean. It can increase your efficiency by up to 30%. It can make your air conditioner last longer. Get them to your house. FixMyHome.com. Just $39 for new customers. I like to say do it before the extreme heat, but today's going to be 90, and then they might take this special away. FixMyHome.com. Red Rocks Roof and Solar, speaking about the sun, no matter what you want to do to harness the sun, you won't do better than Red Rocks. They do the sales, installation, and service of commercial and residential solar systems. And they are the experts when it comes to not just the systems, but the financing, tax credits, up to 40% with them. Plus, you get grants to pay for this if you're in business. Find out more at redrocksrs.com. The experts, Red Rocks RS, 303-704-2449. Do you want free granite or quartz or quartzite or marble or any other countertop material? Well, the Art of Granite has a big remnant yard right now, and they are giving away the remnants. So if you can find a piece big enough to do what you want, the material is free. Hey, even if you have to buy some material, it's inexpensive compared to everyone else. You can get a price on the phone. The Art of Granite is the way to go. Free materials right now. Call them for details. 303-386-5919. I need to use the restroom, bro. I drank too much.
All right. Mark, you still with us at least? Because Tom has left.
Yes, I am here.
It's not really helping, but okay.
Do those youngsters have their headphones on?
I doubt it.
Tell them to put their headphones on.
Not going to help.
I want to know which one likes Nikes.
It's one of them there. I'll find him. Try to get him going here. Hey, how about your president in Normandy right now?
He probably thinks he's in Idaho.
Idaho?
Idaho.
Well, I just worry about your president while he's out there trying to give a speech in Normandy.
Stop calling him our president. You know for goddamn reason he's not.
I'm talking to Mark right now.
It's not Mark either.
He's your president, Mark.
I love Biden.
But he's going to end up slipping up. French. That's French.
That is if he actually can stand the entire sound.
I taught my daughter how to French.
She's got good smelling hair. You got to wonder how someone does start sniffing random people's hair.
You know, well, I myself as an adult have found my occasionally sniff babies, but I think that's different, right? Please, God, tell me that's different.
I've never sniffed a baby.
Really?
I try not to.
As an adult human, you haven't sort of been close to a child and taken in that new kid smell.
Only if it was my own child to see if they shit their britches or not.
See, I just think you're.
It's true. That's the only time you smell it.
Yeah, it's only when you're like holding a new baby. If you have a relative with a new baby, you hold them and go, oh, they smell so good at that age.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it.
Sorry.
That is as weird.
They actually don't. And what's up with the green poop that they always have for the first month?
Oh, that's because it was processed through your placenta, and it's all just mostly minerals.
Thank you, Shannon. I didn't actually need a medical diagnosis, but
hey, there's people that fry that need it. What do you want?
oh my God,
So here's the Yelp thing.
things I have to endure.
Oh,
Yelp
Yes.
is a bit of a scam when you dive into it. It's paid advertising.
it's like Hollenbeck told me that he and Pete, their penises accidentally touched when they were in an RV once. It's kind of a long story, but I said to him, the only time that's allowed is inside a woman. That's the only time it's sort of not gay.
God, it sounds gay no matter what.
No, it does. No,
Not
if
that
you're-
there's anything wrong with that.
No, if you're. Hey, we need you to take over here. I'm serious right now, okay? Yeah, right.
All right, 303-713-8255. You know that. 303 Martino. Say it with me. That number works on and off the air. If you ever have a problem, we definitely want to hear from you. I want to talk to my guests real quick. Which one of these young men was saying they like Nikes because of the quality of the Nike tennis shoe? Who was it? What's your name? Do I have no one paying attention?
I'm here. Shut up.
I want to know which one of them likes Nikes. Who was that? I heard that at the beginning of the show before I was on.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about brand loyalty or brands and...
Yeah, cheap Chinese labor, Nikes. That's what it equals. In fact, I think that's what it spells somehow. So I totally disagree with that.
You know what's funny is Nike's an American company, right? You know that, right?
Yeah, but most of them are made in China.
Probably. Just like almost
everything.
Yeah.
Like your
That guy doesn't
iPhone that
even
you're
know
so proud
talking.
of.
He's staring at me, so good luck.
Mark once told me a story, and...
It's very true if it's about Apple and all the people that have died
he said
committing
they put
suicide building them in China.
They put special nets outside or something to catch people who are committing.
It's called I think it's called Foxconn, and it's the manufacturing plant for Apple in China. And they set up nets because people were literally throwing themselves to their death just to quit making iPhones that you, Martino, use.
Well, you use an iPhone. I mean, you use a smartphone. Well, where do you think your phone's made?
Korea.
Okay, yeah. That's a bastion of wonderful life. Yeah.
It's the good Korea.
So listen, do you know that 72% of all U.S. adults say they don't give a rip about a company's commitment to diversity, inclusion, and the environment?
I don't. If I'm a stockholder in something, I care about one thing and one thing only.
That's right, making
money. And that's
money.
getting paid.
I care about making money and good products. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do a company that, let's say, truly are violating human rights or stuff like that. I'm not, or exploiting children.
Yeah, but how do you argue that with anything? Anything made in China pretty much is they don't have a minimum wage like we do. They have entire groups of people over there that are forced to work prison labor camps. I mean, so basically anything.
I guess, Mark, if I really knew, seriously, if I really knew a company was doing stuff like that, I wouldn't buy their products when it comes to that kind of stuff. But regular stuff like this woke stuff, I don't really care that much about it. I mean, I think that people who highlight the woke stuff, and I hate even using that word because it's so incendiary. I rather just, but what I mean by that is...
That word's been bastardized. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, and they try to... I think that they try to highlight our differences, and it's such a terrible thing to keep talking about that. I mean, I don't even know, what does inclusion really mean? I mean, are people really excluded nowadays? Maybe they are. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, here's the 72% don't care. The people who care the most, they're still only 45%, are the Gen Z adults. And Gen Z goes up to what age? 26, is it? Or no way, I'm wrong on that. Or it might be. I don't know. Anyway, Gen Z, I had a whole chart here.
And what do they care about? I don't understand. The equity?
If the corporation, this is not for investing, by the way, in the corporation. This is buying products. Do they care about equity, inclusion, and climate change activism and politics? 45% of Gen Z says they do care. 45. That's the biggest chunk of a population that cares. Next to that are black adults. They care. That's 47 or 43%. We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show, 303-713-8255.
In your face.
Who is that guy? Where is he?
He's at home. I'm normally at home.
I thought it was one of them.
Did you know that?
Because apparently they were calling for us for a while, and then I'm sorry. I was looking in there.
All right, this has been fun.
Late.
No, you're fine.
Later, Shannon.
I have a home studio.
He's
really
really cute.
Nice.
You're just
So you don't
I
always
usually
come here.
do, but I can't accommodate. So when like on car day, when I have a bunch of people and I come here, but if I have one guest, possibly two, I can do it from home.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time I do it from home, about 85% of the time.
Yeah.
And it's nice to get in here once in a while, though. Let me go. Do you guys like pizza?
Yeah.
Sure. What do you not like?
Watch out. He'll put those damn anchovies on there.
Pineapple does not belong on pizza.
Banana peppers is like the best. I like banana peppers. I like any topping.
Well, fishy friends.
Banana peppers is so good.
Let's get a large cheese and pepper.
I have to make sure that I have the current credit card.
Just
You
one.
guys watch
Because I have the old one, and I don't know if you sent me, because boys usually buy.
And Tom, 3 grind boys, 1 pizza.
When we might want to get to.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to eat a lot.
politics or who he is as a person. Pizza reviews are actually pretty good. He really knows his pizza.
So I used to put it on Troubleshooter. Sue stopped me doing that, but you haven't. But okay, that's fine.
We also
have it. If not, we'll put it on mine.
You need any info from Mark? Does he know?
Let's make one. Do you want to do one plain cheese and one pepperoni?
There you go.
They're
yeah.
not going to want plain cheese. They're going to want meat.
My wife gets pissed when I watch.
So let's do one with pep and one with sauce.
That's what everyone says about.
Okay.
Who doesn't want to get their lips on a sausage?
No. Okay. Yeah, I got you.
But I love the extra sauce, extra cheese.
Yeah, I'll do that. But bring me your credit card because I'm pretty sure I have the old one.
Tom actually looks pretty good for presidential age.
Situationally, pineapple
must
can't
work
be on
out.
pizza. Yeah.
It does not belong on a pizza.
Not to admire his
Doesn't.
physique. But
Pineapple's good, but it doesn't belong on a pizza.
In a situation, like if it's a Hawaiian pizza, you've got ham, you've got pineapple. Yeah, sure.
Right. I would eat ham.
I'm not gonna add it as a topping to my pepperoni and sausage pizza, but like, you know, pizza can be anything.
I get it.
I never had the referral.
Maybe it's
one.
'cause I don't
only
like
have the Troubleshooter one.
Well, that should.
So it's like you like salsa, but you probably don't mind like a mango or like a pineapple salsa. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Different flavors.
I'm a true New Yorker.
But I'll eat a pineapple
You know who's a
pizza and I'll be like,
What?
I don't know the last time I had it.
But you know what? Though?
I'm just
I
not
do
gonna
like.
be serious.
I do like.
You are
barbecue.
terrible.
It's
No,
okay.
That
We
one
have.
Barbecue chicken pizza, but it's.
When I order at home, that's different. When we're here and we have all these guests, there's no way.
Well, also like
And the
deep
referrals
dish.
people like this.
I never had real deep
But it's
dish.
not really a
but, yeah.
That's like
It's
lasagna.
like it's like a lasagna.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm eating pizza, I want thin crust, crunchy, well done cheese.
That crust place I just went to, then the bread was like one of the best pizzas I've had in a while.
And there's. You want to know the? Here's the zip code.
About to go back there and start.
Okay.
You've been putting it on my trouble.
No. We haven't bought pizza on your card for like probably 6 months.
Yeah, but I feel like I agree, but I feel like everyone, like you could do that with a.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, we never buy pizza, Jack.
That's right.
They can hear us.
back.
Tom,
He's back.
When you're watching on YouTube and stuff.
we don't buy pizza.
It's always, It's been the guys lately, right?
I know. We haven't in months.
It's been Doc and Kevin and
The guests buy. We don't buy. I'm being dead serious.
Mark, these boys aren't going to buy.
Okay, to both of you, check out your text. You too, Tom.
What else would it
I
be?
just sent you a fantastic graphic about current college graduates and working.
On most hot dogs.
What do you what do you call it? Then?
I don't know. I don't want to say like give me a sandwich and it's a hot dog. I'm gonna go to sandwich lunch and go to a hot dog stand. No.
Oh, that's pretty good stuff.
I would never.
So, man, summers down there have to be brutal, right?
Yeah.
In Georgia.
Yeah.
I lived in Florida.
Made it so this room is about
I lived in
10 degrees.
South Florida when I was going to college for a little,
That
and then I
cute
went. I
woman
lived in
said-
Tampa, and
she
I
came
lived.
up to me
but
and
I
then she says,
I lived.
I need my
Tampa
muffin
area,
to warm.
but never Georgia or North Florida. But that Georgia is very muggy, isn't it?
I think South Florida is better because you get like wind.
Yeah.
And the ocean.
It's really humid. Really humid in South Florida.
Yeah, I've been down there a lot.
Can you stop by
Well,
and ask for any
it's no more humid than Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia's.
Oh, shut up.
I mean, it depends where you are, but.
I won't
I know,
go.
but
My mother-in-law
he needs
lives in
help
West Palm
editing.
Beach, and I won't
Yeah.
go in the summer. It's
No,
too hot.
I don't.
I'll go in
Because
December,
I can't
but I
do shit on this computer except watch television.
Who's James Biden? Hunter, I know, is the son. Who's James?
Think the
I thought
brother.
He had two boys, and one died. Hunter and Bo.
I think it's his brother.
maybe a cousin or something. I'm not sure.
Ain't nobody listening to you.
I know.
His ex-wife is testifying too.
That's why I called up Anthony's and just canceled the fucking pizza. No one will ever know.
No, you are now.
They said Mark likes New Balance.
Now, baby boomers, 81% don't give a rip about anything. Only 19% of baby boomers, which is my generation, the old parts, only 19% care about
10 seconds.
equity and
Jimmy Fela and both 4th Congressional District special election candidates, Democrat Tricia Calvarese and Republican Greg Lopez. It all starts at 2 right here on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help a common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We've had full lines all morning, and right now we have lines open. If you want to call in, 303-713-TALK, or you can call 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. K&H Home Solutions with us today. We're talking about Alpen windows made right here in Colorado, some of the cool things about that. And then I just want to say something, Michael. I don't want to be controversial about this with K&H Home Solutions. I don't want to be controversial, but I don't like siding at all. I don't like siding. I know there's some siding better than others, but I'm very, very, very disappointed in siding in general. Because really and truly, stucco is about as maintenance-free as you're going to get. I wish there was more maintenance-free siding. Is aluminum siding pretty maintenance-free?
No, aluminum gets dented. Stucco as well. Stucco has issues with hail. and
Not
also
a lot.
with woodpeckers. Those are the big things we see with it.
Real stucco very seldom will have a woodpecker problem. It's the drive-it stuff, the foam behind it, the trim. You know, it can, but real stucco with hard coat very seldom will have a problem. But I love stucco. I'm just going to tell you, I used to love Everlast. It's like, it looks bulletproof, but they had some problems recently. The older stuff was better. I don't know what happened to them. It seemed to have changed a bit.
They changed something in their product.
I know.
The last year we did it,
I know.
it failed. James Hardy is definitely the best siding out here.
But doesn't Hardy, but they all have this surface problem that if you pierce the surface, you're going to have problems, right?
Yeah, we just don't see the surface pierced with Hardy.
Okay, they're pretty hardy then, is what you're saying, really.
It is pretty hardy.
What about vinyl-coated steel?
Vinyl-coated steel.
You can get some really pretty finishes.
Yeah, the problem with steel is it does rust. You do have hail damage with it. I mean, vinyl gets destroyed with hail damage.
Well, not just vinyl. I'm talking about vinyl-coated steel.
Right, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's better than your traditional vinyl for sure.
And then the good old aluminum siding, though, you get some waves in that maybe. And do you guys even do that?
We don't. We primarily work with James Hardy. It's a fiber cement, and
I know everyone is
great
everyone
in this climate in Colorado. It's as good as you're going to get.
You do paint that, or does it come paint?
It comes pre-painted. Okay. You can also paint it yourself, but the majority of it comes pre-painted.
But you're saying it holds up pretty well.
Yeah, it's hail resistant, woodpecker proof,
is
Class
it hail
A fire
resistant?
rated. Hail resistant. We've seen damage on it.
Yeah,
but,
of course. I
mean, 300-mile-per-hour chunk of ice coming is going to damage anything. But yes, we've seen James Hardy withstand a lot of hailstorms out here.
Listen, it's all what you in Colorado is pretty hard on all exteriors as far as
Colorado has some harsh climate for sure.
And as far as windows, though, we do pretty good luck with the pre-painted vinyl, with the fiberglass, with I even think aluminum clad windows are good. They're a little expensive, and they don't have the thermal quality that a lot of windows do. But in general, when it comes to low maintenance, that's what people are looking for, right? Isn't that what you guys are trying to specialize in, low maintenance, energy efficiency?
Every product that we carry is low maintenance, and that's really important to us, and high quality. You want it to last. You don't want to just put something in and then 5-10 years later have to deal with it again. So low maintenance, really there's nothing out there that's no maintenance. People are lying to you if you tell there's zero maintenance.
Yeah, I know.
But low maintenance is really what we're looking for in high quality.
Yeah, low to almost none sometimes. Some stuff gets pretty. So does James Hardy ever have to be repainted?
So James Hardy has a 30-year warranty.
Really? Really that long on the paint?
No, 15-year finish warranty.
Okay, finish. Okay.
So you have a 15-year in the paint.
Does it chalk? Does it fade at all, the darker colors?
It does not chalk. Fading on some of the super dark colors over time, yes. But that
now you're not getting
years,
idiots that are doing. There's no black siding, is there?
There's people doing white siding with black trim, but typically no black siding. No.
Yeah,
dark grays.
I've seen some black houses, literally black siding, and I don't know what kind it is, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's painted that way. It's like a flat black.
Yeah.
And I call them the Twin Peaks. The houses, they're all. I mean, right now everything's starting to look the same to me. Yeah. I mean, the newer houses, they're all boring as hell.
Hardy, you'll have to paint 15, 20, 25 years down the road, depending on where your house is. That's the advantage of vinyl. Vinyl you never have to paint it. I mean, it'll fade over time if it's a dark color, but you never have to paint it.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And then when it comes to really the exterior of a house in Colorado, if you have a regular paint job, I mean, God, Steve the painter, he does a great job at keeping things painted and done well. But man, he'll tell you paint doesn't last in Colorado, not for a long time. And then I have we have wood trim or wood doors. Forget those front doors if they're exposed to sun. I mean, they can just literally fall apart.
Yeah, that's why we work with Provia for our front doors. It's all steel, 20-gauge steel or fiberglass. wood products in
I know,
Colorado
I know.
is a bad idea.
Well, you got to keep them constantly sealed and maintained and sanded.
And even if you do
I
that,
know.
they're going to start to go.
They're a pain in the ass. That's right. So what kind of finishes, though, can you get on these doors?
The fiberglass doors are typically
Is it a
made
wood
to
grain
look like
look?
wood. It's got a wood grain with a stain on it, and you have a 15-year finish warranty on that as well. And the steel doors are typically painted with a 10-year finish warranty.
But the good part about it is they're insulated.
Yes, all insulated with polyurethane, which is
So
the
that's
same
just
stuff
solid. That's solid foam. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's what you find in Yeti coolers. It's why you can keep your cold soda and beer outside for 3 days.
Yeah. All right. So 303-713-TALK, 713-8255 on these brands and what we call cooperative engagement in social issues. The biggest population to reject it, baby boomers. They don't care. 81% of them don't care. Not at all. And so the rest, of course, say they do care. But most of them do not purchase based on anything a corporation believes or does. The next one under that are Republicans. This is the Republicans. 79% don't make any purchases based on that. And then next to that, Gen Xers in general and white adults are almost neck and neck in not caring. They're in the high 70s or the mid 70s. Millennials, 66% don't care, 34% do. Where it starts to get split are with Gen Zers. They care, almost 50-50, almost. It's a little skewed toward not caring, but they do care. And that is remarkable to me. Now, Gen Zers, by the way, are 11 to 26 years old. So that would include our guys here today from college and doing internships. And then let's see who else. Then we have Hispanic adults, 62% don't care. Black adults, 57% don't care, but 43% do. That's a big number. Then adults of all other ethnicities, 66% don't care. So right now, if you look at this chart in general, most people don't care about the equity and the inclusion and climate change commitments. Most people don't. Bob, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Good, man. What can we do for you?
Hey, I had a question. First of all, I wanted to get the name of the person that you always use to have them come out and do independent roof inspections. I think Mark's used them also.
Now, of course, we use a lot of times our roofers that we like, but you can get a roof inspector.
I did call Excel. I called Excel to come out and look, but I thought you had an independent person.
Yeah, we do. He's not on the referral list, but we do have an inspector from time to time. And his name, I don't have his name memorized.
What's the issue? Why do you need one?
Well, I'm starting to get notices there. Now, I use Acuity, and I think you're familiar with Acuity. At least I use Brian at Compass. And I'm starting to get, I got my first notice here that as of the maturity of this policy of August 15th, they are deciding not to cover the roof because it has a street tap shingle, which is no longer eligible for our underwriting guidelines. So they're really forcing me to go out and get inspections on these properties before the term expires, and maybe they'll end up having to put a new roof on it. I don't quite understand their logic here.
Well, a bunch of roofers, a bunch of insurance companies have been reevaluating roofing coverage in general. Many of them are going to stop covering roofs altogether, period, altogether. Some are covering for very high deductibles or ACV, actual cash values, or they're doing a percentage of the dwelling amount. So if the dwelling's worth $500,000, they might do 2% deductible or 3%. So it's really across the board. And some of them are specifying specific kinds of roofs, and that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
Well, in a way, Yeah, and it's a way it's kind of detrimental to them because I'm going to go ahead and have the property independently evaluated, and they'll probably end up having to put a roof on this property because I know there's been hail. You know, this is off of Smoky Hill and Quincy.
Why
and I know
wouldn't you
there's
have
been
done
hail
that?
through there.
Why wouldn't you have done that anyway if you had hail damage? How old is that hail damage?
Yeah, but
you
then
can't put in a claim. Bob, you can't put in a claim for hail damage older than a year.
What
In
I
other
would
words,
do.
so every property,
Listen, guys.
you should have
Here's
it
what I do,
inspected.
caller. Here's what I do. You want to call up Matt at Paragon Services. He can go back and find when hail hit there and what date it hit there, and then argue with your insurance company if it's even there, if the dates line up, to actually get it covered.
Right, but if it's more than a year from the storm, you're not going to be covered.
So, in other words, you basically should have every property. I've got rental properties. I should have every one of them inspected once a year to make sure there's been no hail going through that particular area.
Well, unless normally you would know if there's a hailstorm, you hear about it, but I guess if you don't hear about it, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a roof inspection. But what I'm saying is that if you have hail, just remember, Bob, they're not going to cover if it's older than a year. And here's the other problem. If you have multiple hail events, you're going to have a hell of a tough time discriminating, and they may not cover it at all. Because what they're going to argue is that the previous damage rendered it useless anyway, so what was destroyed recently was a useless roof. So you're going to have a problem.
Well, I guess I'll have the roofer look at them and evaluate, and they should be able to tell.
I think Matt would be the one to. I go with Mark on this one. Matt at Paragon Services. He's not a roofer, but he knows a hell of a lot about roofing and everything else because he does specifically insurance claims where insurance companies are trying to screw people, and he takes a percentage of what he collects. But here's the most important part.
Okay.
Here's the most important part. He will let you know if he thinks you can even get it covered. Because if you have not had a hailstorm in the recent, he'll look at all his records. And if you did not have a hailstorm within a year, you're not going to be covered anyway. If you did have a hailstorm, then he has to go to work trying to make the argument that it was the most recent hailstorm that did the damage. And he'll do that by looking at previous hailstorms. And he might say, hey, there were no previous storms. Or, yeah, there was one, but it was 10 years ago. I mean, you let him handle that, and it's free of charge until you hire him.
Right. That's the person I was looking for the name. So that's Matt at Paragon. That's who I
Yes, that's who you want.
wanted to
Mark, do you
call,
have that number handy?
I can give it to him, Tom.
Okay, Kachina will give it to you. Hold on, and we'll get you that number.
Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Think Plumline Services. With
Right, but he can upgrade all day long.
Yeah.
Or if they don't make it anymore.
And you can fight with the insurance company and say it needs to be upgraded. It's code.
If it is a code upgrade, if
Right.
you have a code upgrade, you're right. You'd be surprised how many people don't have that shit. Discount Bath. You know, those words don't normally come together, but they do with Discount Bath. And Discount Bath is a place that I would call if I'm looking to redo a bath. They have great prices. Doing the complete bath or part of the bath, hall baths, master baths, half baths, whatever you want. And they tear it out free. And they'll rip it out and tear it out free and then put the new one in. That can be a $3,000 value right there. DiscountBath.com, 720-979-2322. Call for a free estimate, 720-979-2322. Sheridan Auto Tech, my friend Kevin and his team, they will take care of you with value, and they'll take care of you with honesty and integrity plus skill. Everything you want in an auto repair facility, from heavy to light maintenance and repairs to electrical issues. They do it all, including pre-buy inspections for used cars. SheridanAutotech.com, 303-455-7242. If you're looking to refinance right now, Ideal Home Loans is the one to look to because Ideal will do it, and they do it with an interest rate guarantee. No one else does that. So even though rates are a little higher than normal, when they go down, you get refinanced free of charge. So if you're looking for a home, don't hesitate. IdealHomeLoans.com.
Good morning. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show. Oh, yeah. So let me give you the number of the person who does that. It's K&H.
Now, can you believe that this guy is doing they're doing a campaign ad against this guy using the idea that he wants to close down the border as something bad. Did you get the dichotomy there? They're saying if you vote for him, he's going to close the border down. Too conservative for Colorado. And Colorado is inundated with illegal immigration right now, and they can't afford it. And their ad seems to be counterintuitive because they're trying to appeal to people saying, don't elect this guy. He's against illegal immigration. I mean, to me,
It's just all political agendas, both sides.
I understand, but it didn't make sense to me that they would try to appeal to that because no matter what, even if you're humanitarian and love immigrants, you don't really want what's happening.
Reverse psychology.
Are 3-tab roofs in general being phased out?
Owens Corning still carries them. Home Depot still has them, but
What are they considered, cheapies or what? What do they not like about them?
yeah, they are way thinner, so they get hail damage easy. They don't have a high wind load. They're all, if you've seen them, they're all the same size and they don't overlap. The newer roofs now are dimensional, so they're different size and they're thicker and they overlap. So it's better with Colorado weather.
So
We won't put on a 3-tab.
Old-fashioned flat asphalt roof.
Yep. We won't put them on anymore.
K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. GrossmanWellness.com. I love that place, and I go there. I go there all the time. I mean, you know, it's a concierge medical service. You pay a few $100 a month. It includes your prescriptions, your supplements, and your blood work every 3 months. It's being very proactive about your health. For $249, you can see where you stand with them. Get your blood work and a consultation. See if you want to continue. There's no obligation. I mean, I really urge you to do it, especially those getting up there in years. Or actually, really, that's not accurate. You should do it no matter what, because you're never too young for great health. 303-233-4247, GrossmanWellness.com. So let's talk. We got Acuity Insurance, and we gave him the referral, and that's important. People with insurance, remember this: you're going to hear a lot about insurance companies not renewing your policies for roofs unless you change your roof. They don't want a 3-tab, really narrow, not narrow, but thin asphalt roof anymore. They're making you upgrade, and yeah, they can do that, or they can refuse to cover you. Cynthia, you're calling about Safeco. What's going on with Safeco Insurance?
What a crook they are.
Why? What's going on?
On the 30th, before the storm hit, I had emailed Safeco to find a cheaper policy. My policy doesn't expire until November 24.
Okay.
I had got a Compass quote because I've been listening to you for 35 years, so I don't do anything without your approval.
Okay.
So I had Compass check around in January, and so I was able to send Safeco on Thursday, the 30th, that quote to see if he could beat it or match it.
But hold on. Why would you bother doing that? I mean, why would you if Compass came with a better price? Why would you even go back to Safeco?
Well, because I didn't change my insurance. Since it auto renews, and I just was trying to take a better interest in what was going on. And I'm a preventive person, so I was trying to get ahead of.
I understand, but when Compass gave you a price that was better, why then go back to Safeco and say match it? Why? What, did you have some allegiance to Safeco?
Well, I've had them forever.
Okay. Well, what does that mean? If anything,
before Liberty Mutual bought them, I had never had, a need to change.
Let me explain something to people. I have to say this and get it off my chest. I just have to say this. The one industry where loyalty is actually penalized, not rewarded, is insurance. It is the one industry that you can almost always do better finding another company. We do what's called the insurance checkup, and that means people can call Compass Insurance Group and get a free insurance checkup. 85% of the time, they can find another policy and save those people money. Why? Because longevity and loyalty with insurance is never rewarded. Here's how it works. You get an insurance policy, and once they know they have you, they creep up. It's called creep up syndrome. They creep up the premiums, and they creep down the coverages. So the longer you have insurance, the worse deal you have. And the way to get a better deal is to rewrite the policy. I just want people to know that. For some reason, people have this vision that if they're with an insurance company for 20 or 30 years, somehow it's golden and they're doing something lofty and it's really a good value. It is exactly the opposite. Insurance companies have zero loyalty. They are blood-sucking scumbags. The industry, it's the only industry that I truly believe does not have people's best interests. Most industries want to help people. Insurance companies are the lowlife of industries. They come in and ruin health care. They come in and ruin insurance, car insurance, everything. The adjusters go out and try to pay as little as possible. That's why they're called adjusters. You never hear them adjust things upward. They always adjust things downward. And I just have to get this off my chest because, Cynthia, you are under some crazy illusion that you want to stay with Safeco because you've had them for years, and that is exactly the reason you should get away from them. But now continue.
Okay. So anyway, when the storm hit, it was on the 30th. I had emailed, Safeco during the day of the 30th.
You had emailed them asking if they could beat the Compass price?
Right, during the day of the 30th, okay? So when the storm hit, I got on your website and contacted Excel. Excel Roofing came out the next day. Wonderful. I want to deal with them. And I called to put in my roof claim because my roof was, I live in Green Valley Ranch. It was destroyed. And I find out that he's changed my policy and
Who changed your policy?
The Safeco people. They changed it from my deductible from $1,000 to $6,000.
Now wait a minute. And you're saying they can't. Let me explain this to you very clearly. During an insurance contract, they can't change it. So if your insurance contract had a $1,000 or $2,000 deductible, they cannot change it.
Well, they did.
They can't. So they can't. So
and my policy doesn't expire until November 24.
The policy you have through November of 24. Do you still have it?
Yeah.
And
I have it, but he's rewriting it, and when I called in to put in a claim,
Cynthia,
they said
one
my
thing at a time, Cynthia, because you're not making sense. You're talking about rewriting. Here's what I'm asking you. You have a policy in your possession that expires in November of this year. Is that correct?
It is correct. I can send it to you.
That policy that expires in November of 2024 has how much of a deductible?
$1,000.
Then they cannot change it until November of 2024 unless you cancel the policy.
I did not.
Then they can't do it. So tell me how they did that.
I don't know, because I emailed him to find a comparable price or a cheaper price.
Who's him? Who's him?
His name is Jim Morales.
Who is he? Who? Compass where? Who did you email?
Okay, he's a part of Broadfield Insurance Agency.
Again, who? Who are you? Did you ask Safeco? Is that what you mean? The people who were representing you with Safeco? You asked
Correct.
them? Okay, so you asked them to find you a better policy?
Before mine expired.
I get it. You asked them to find you a better policy. What did you mean by that? Did you say I want to pay less of a premium?
Correct.
Okay, and that broker that you have could have misconstrued that you wanted to cancel your policy and pay less.
I put it in. It was in an email.
Good.
I specifically stated that I was shopping around before my policy expired.
Excellent. And that's excellent. You put it in an email. So this guy took it upon himself to rewrite you a policy with a higher deductible, but probably a lower premium, right?
It was a higher deductible, and then it had my medical coverage payments. He changed the total policy premium changed. He just changed everything.
Did it lower your premium?
No.
Well, what excuse would a guy have for giving you less coverage? Did it raise your premium?
Let me see.
Cynthia, what you're telling me makes no sense. You're telling me you called to inquire about a better deal, and this guy at Safeco took it upon himself to change your policy to less coverage for the same price.
Well, he gave me a total policy premium of $6,000 instead of $8,000.
Okay, so you did save. See, that's what I'm getting at. He thought that he was doing you a favor.
Well, he still couldn't have changed it before it expired.
Yeah, he could have with your signature or approval, but you signed.
I haven't signed anything.
Okay, we need to get Compass on. I need to get Compass on to talk about. I mean, they're not involved in this, but I need to ask them. I don't think they can do this. I think they're trying to pull a fast one on you, and I think you can go to the insurance commission, and I do not think they can force you into a new policy with less coverage. I don't think they can do it. So hold on, and I'm going to get our experts on to address this.
Problem when people want cheaper plans is then they raise the deductible.
Yeah, but she
should still have that old plan though.
He
if it's
couldn't
through
cancel
November.
her insurance without some kind. She had to sign something.
It sounds like she still has that plan through November. I mean, and if she does, she needs to open up a claim now because that area they were in just the other day, and that area got hammered with hail.
I don't understand how they can tell her she has a new policy. You know, Premier Window Washing, window cleaning, and pressure washing will come to your home and do your windows. Get them done now while the weather's good, or your business. They also do window tinting, and they do a great job. Plus, pressure washing. 720-953-0078. Right now, 15% off all services. You heard it. Tell them Tom Martino sent you. That's 720-953-0078. And that's WeCleanWindows.co. All right, let's talk about something else. Zero Res, talking about cleaning. ZeroResDenver.com. The best carpet cleaning ever. Why do I say it? Because they use nothing in their water that's harmful. They have super soft, energized, purified water. What does that mean? That means the best cleaning agent in all of nature. You don't have any dirt-attracting residues. In fact, it'll get all the crap out from your previous washings and cleanings, because you know what? Most carpet cleaners deliver more than they take away. Zero Res will zero resify you. They will make your carpets not only look clean, but feel clean, and no dirt-attracting residue. Healthier for you, your kids, your pets. ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150, 471-5150. You know, Genesis Total Exteriors also is doing mold mitigation and detection without fear. That's GenesisTotalExteriors.com. If you're looking for mold mitigation, please call the honest people in this game, 303-679-8509.
Ted's doing great. Yeah, I talked to him just last week. Yeah, he's good. He's hanging out with his grandkids and just enjoying life. He had a hard time stepping away. I think he was kind of addicted to work.
Did he come by and say hi a lot?
He did, yeah. He did. In the beginning, he did quite a bit, and then it kind of leveled off. But, yeah, I got to take him out to lunch. He seems to be enjoying life. I mean, he owned the company for 28 years, you know?
And his brothers had a little part in it, too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he did more real estate with Bernie, but, yeah, Bernie definitely ran part of the company for a while, too.
You did work for them, too, right?
I worked for Ted for a long time.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, so you know Ted really well then. Okay. So then you transitioned.
Yeah, I mean, I was an inside sales rep for Ted forever.
Okay, cool.
And then when Lee took over, I became one of the vice presidents.
Oh, excellent. Oh, that's good. Are any of the old guys still there?
Yeah, John Convey was head of operations, is still there. Tricia, who was their controller, is still there. Brittany.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Quite a few people.
Okay,
a lot
good.
of the same installers.
Oh, wow. That's
Lee really kept everything the same,
yeah,
but modernized the company.
Yeah, of course.
You know? It needed a rehab.
The actual building itself, too?
The new office, new warehouse, new technology.
Wait, on that lot, or did you move?
We moved.
Oh, I didn't know that. Did you abandon that whole? Did
Ted and Bernie own it, so they're selling it.
Okay.
Yeah. We moved less than a mile down the road.
But you got a really nice place?
Yeah, nice
Oh,
office.
very cool. Yeah, that
nice.
place sucked.
It was awful.
It really did. It sucked.
I went there one time.
Yeah.
It needed a lot of work. It needs to be bulldozed.
Is Lee pretty hands-on?
Very. Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a smart guy.
And Steven does a lot, too.
How old's Steven now?
How old's your brother? 26? He just turned 25 or 26.
It's pretty heavy duty.
Yeah. He's a smart kid.
4.5 years apart, so he's probably 25.
He just had a birthday, so I don't know if he turned.
When do you graduate?
2025. If I pass all my classes.
What's that?
If I pass all my classes.
I was pretty old having kids. My son, I have a son who's just going into his senior year in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, way old. I should be his grandfather. But it's fun.
Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk now. This thing with Cynthia, we need to get one of our insurance experts on. This is unheard of. You know, Cynthia, I just want to tell you something. Whenever I've made policy changes, like with Compass, for example, and I want to cancel or change anything at all, even at the end of my policy, they send me DocuSign documents to acknowledge everything. They never do anything verbally. Well, they do. They get it started, but they always require me to sign. I even say, hey, Brian, man, come on, man, you know me. Just go ahead and do it. And they want that documented. So if this clown agent says you were changed and it's disadvantage to you and you got a way more deductible, this guy's going to have hell to pay if he can't show documentation, okay?
Correct.
You hang on. We're going to get our insurance expert on to verify that. And then you go to the insurance commission. They can't get away with this crap. No. Let's talk to Patrick. Hey, Patrick, what is your question, concern? What's happening?
Not much. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm doing good, man. What's going on?
I love your show. I always listen, and I've learned a lot over the years. I just have a quick question about the sales tax stamp on tobacco and alcohol.
Yeah.
That's for sales tax, correct?
Well, it's not for sales tax. It's for taxes. It shows that they were taxed. I don't think they might call it a sales tax. I thought it was an excise tax, but there are certain taxes they have to pay before it even goes out for sale, and then sales tax goes on top of that.
Well, I just remember when I was younger, when you would buy cigarettes or alcohol, that was the price. There was no tax added onto it.
No,
now,
there's taxes added onto them all the time now.
When you go to check out, they add sales tax on top of the tax, and I just didn't know if that was like being double taxed.
Well, it is being double taxed. We're often double taxed and triple taxed. It depends on what we buy. Some people have to pay excise taxes. Some people have to pay import taxes. Some people have to pay all kinds of taxes or surcharges or tariffs. And then on top of that, you might pay a tax for transportation. And then by the time it gets to the retail level, you pay your sales tax. Yeah, that's absolutely normal. Now, there was a time, I believe, there were some places that exempted alcohol, tobacco, and food.
Well, wait. There's cigarettes in almost every state, unless you're on an Indian reservation or something like out at sea. They have an excise tax.
Right.
That's what this guy. Some states do not add a sales tax on top of that, but Colorado, I assume, does.
Yeah, and that's the point. They don't have to not do it, in other words. In other words, there's nothing that says it's not. But it used to be in some states that alcohol, tobacco, and food were all untaxed. Now they tax the hell out of everything. And in fact, food, of course, I think the rule on food, unless it's changed, the only thing that's taxed on food right now, I think, is prepared food, right? I mean, if you buy groceries, we don't pay sales tax, do we? On food? I don't remember, but to make a long story short, if you buy a pack of cigarettes right now at Walgreens, you're going to pay sales tax.
Okay, I was just curious about that because I swear it used to be they didn't do
That's
that
right.
in Colorado.
In some states, I don't think still do. I'm not sure, but I think that there are still some states that do not charge sales tax. But that's really a local state issue. That is not something to be. That's not something that says, hey, if there's a stamp on it, then you don't pay sales tax on it. In fact, there are cases where people who build stuff, they pay sales tax on components, and then you pay sales tax on the finished product. So there's oftentimes we're double and triple taxed. Now, Cynthia's question about Safeco, we're going to talk about coming up.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show.
How long were you with K&H before?
What's up, girl?
7 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Ted's a great guy. He just didn't want to make any changes.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Are you okay?
Oh, I know.
In your late 60s, early
Okay.
70s.
He was getting old.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh my
He's usually
God.
listening to the show. Last time I
All
was
right.
on, he was texting me while I was here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get you on with Tom and
Yeah.
Mark. Do you want to go? Do you want to go by Gina or Rochelle? Okay. You got it, honey. By the way, we got to get together soon.
So did Boeing make a
We
spaceship?
well, Adam and I were just talking about you like a couple nights ago, and Brad and Mark in the whole bit.
Red Rocks
so
Roof and Solar,
we'll make
the
it
people
happen.
that I recommend highly
Yeah.
for your
Yep,
solar
yep.
systems, because they have it down when it comes to everything you need to know about the product itself, the service, the installation. Then they do the tax credits. They can help you there. You get 40% tax credits with them. They also have financing available, and of course, if you have a commercial system, you can look into getting a REAP grant. They have grant writers that can help you get that, get the system 100% paid for. Honest to goodness. RedRocksRS.com. That's the website. 303-704-2449. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney that pledges only to take the number of cases that he works personally. You call him, get free consultations always. And then if you decide to hire him, he works on a percentage fee basis. He'll take your case and work tenaciously for you to get it settled and to find places to collect. That's what John does. He has a support staff, of course, but he handles each and every case. You get a cell phone number that you can call or text at any time. I call it the Fuller difference, and you will notice it at 303-597-4500, 597-4500. You can also find John Fuller at our referral list at referralist.com or myaccidentlawyer.co.
Okay. Yo. Yeah, podcast stuff we got.
Yeah, that is a Boeing.
Should be. Let me double check. Yeah. Yeah. Full show. Well, sometimes I forget to hit publish. Oh. Yeah, I only take care of. Wait.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Jeremy, I hope we can get this in. Jeremy Curzio is with Compass Insurance Group, home of the free insurance checkups, by the way, and 303-996-9000. Jeremy, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Okay. This woman claims she has Safeco insurance on her home with a $1,000 deductible that expires in November of 2024.
And I believe that policy, Tom, was through Compass.
Well, Cynthia, did you get... No, it wasn't. Cynthia, the Safeco policy you have, you did not get through Compass, right?
Correct.
Right. Because she mentioned, Mark, another broker, and she said she went to Compass to get a better deal. So, Jeremy, here's what happened. She claims she called her Safeco agent and said, I want to try to shop around before expiration. I want to get a better deal.
It was an email, Tom.
An email, I'm sorry. And she said she wanted to get a better deal. And that's all she did, according to her. That's all she did. Then she went to you guys for an insurance checkup as well. She made no other changes. There was a hailstorm shortly after that. And now they tell her she doesn't have a $1,000 deductible. They changed her policy, and they saved her money, but now she has a $6,000 deductible, and she signed nothing. Now, I know you guys make me document everything when you make a change. Can they just say, willy-nilly, we changed your policy?
No. Does that happen? It can, but no, they can't just change her policy without her approval on it. So you're saying the broker changed it, not Safeco.
Right. And she's claiming, this guy's claiming she requested it. So can you do it on a verbal, or does it have to be signed? What if he claims she gave him authority? And what if he claims Cynthia gave me authority, and Cynthia says I never did? I have an email to prove it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the onus certainly falls on the broker, but it can be a fight. And that's, that's why you try to get everything signed. That's why we send that stuff, because we want to make sure everyone's on the same page. So if she can prove she did not authorize it.
Well, I don't think she has to prove she did not authorize it. I think he has to prove she did. I mean.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. What I was going to, you're absolutely right. What I was going to say is if she could prove to Safeco, hey, I never changed this. This was done behind my back.
Right.
Safeco could work with her, and then they could deal with the agent on the difference.
So she should call them directly. Have you called Safeco directly, Cynthia?
No, I didn't know how to do that.
Who does she call at Safeco, Jeremy? Don't they only work through agents?
They do. She can call them directly. I mean, you can't get like a new policy through them directly. But
hey, Jeremy, I've got Safeco. I went to call over a question I had. Now, mine was auto insurance about 2 weeks ago, and it tells me to call you guys, period, end of story.
Right. That's which they're going to want to do. In a case like this, do you have an open claim? Is the claim going on right now?
I was trying to file one the very next day. He did all this in 24 hours.
Okay. the adjuster would be someone you could. My argument would be, or my hope would be, that Safeco could work with you, get back to that original deductible, and then they can deal with the broker.
Yeah, but if she doesn't, Cynthia,
that.
you may have to go to the Division of Insurance and tell them that they changed your policy right before the storm without your knowledge or approval. I mean, I swear to you that you tell them that this is what happened. And I don't mind giving it to someone to work on, but I want you to call the insurance division first. This cannot stand. We will help you, Cynthia. Pizza's here, guys.
Can we go grab some? Yeah, absolutely. Bring it in here. Yeah, sounds good.
Nothing.
What do you do between the two shows?
Ross. So I'll do Brown till 9, or no, Brown till 10, then from 10 to noon I'll do Ross. Noon to 2 I'm over here with you.
Is Ross only on 10?
He's on 9 to noon, but because of the overlap and everything, I come in later.
Hi, Jeremy. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you. Yep, we're good. Okay. Bye.
Kelly's so sweet.
Matt. I'm a devil. I'm that too.
Does it rhyme with blunt?
Yeah, well, they kind of went a little overboard on advocacy, but...
You like it like that, though. Pizza!
So I didn't even know. I mean, this shows you how. Well, so I've been here for 20, almost 26 years.
Here, as in.
I didn't know that you guys had Little Caesars out here.
Oh yeah.
Because I never see advertisements or anything. I thought that was California.
Wichita, about 26 years here in Colorado.
Yep.
And what did you not know?
That
Little Caesars
there
was
was
the
Little
thing.
Caesars here.
Oh, pretty good.
They came and then they disappeared.
Oh, they did.
And
What,
then
like
they.
Jack in the Box?
Yeah, and then they came back.
Interesting.
5-6 years ago.
Well,
For $5,
so-
are you really gonna complain about pizza?
You used to be able to get 2 larges for $5, but they have this thing called Crazy Bread, which is really good garlic
Ish. If I recall correctly, you made some kind of comparison. Yeah. Yeah, but I think it was something along those kind of lines. Yeah, he was giving, he was either quoting something or yeah. But they're still eating. They're still eating. She's ever the mom. She can't help. Yeah. You're cleaning the dining room table when everybody's still sitting at the dining room table eating.
No, but I do. It drives out of crazy. If we're cooking dinner or anything like that, I'm like the person that has to do the dishes out for dinner. I don't like them to just sit in the sink and do everything. But you know what restaurant I really miss? And it was here when I first moved here, and I loved it. Spicy pickle.
Of course.
Do you remember what happened? Never heard of it. It was a great sandwich place.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to it.
I mean, it's just like all of a sudden one day just.
There was a short time of a sandwich place over here that was called Fish Fish.
Yeah.
Yes, I like
still exists. That's
Not dead at all.
It's still out here.
Yeah, I think it's.
Don't they have Potbelly in Georgia too?
Yeah, there's a Potbelly just down the street on Union.
But you know what? I don't like so much food. Don't say dragon. He's gonna tell you that I'm.
She doesn't like chocolate. She doesn't like bacon. She doesn't like smoked food. Right? She's a freak. She is a freak.
What
about if you get one of those chocolate pounds and you dip the bacon?
I know. That's not
Malted milk balls.
No,
That's M&M's. Malted milk balls and M&M's.
45 seconds, Tom.
Cannot like
M&M's are great. Yeah, freak. Freak. What? Who cares if she doesn't like chocolate or bacon? Anything that she likes is just, invalid. Yeah. Anytime she's like, I like this restaurant. I don't care. Yeah. She had made mention that she doesn't like Chick-fil-A. It's like you're just wrong. Not really, no. Exactly.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show this hour, brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, for a market analysis of your home. What will it sell for? Without going through listing and all of that, just go through Frank's 30 years of experience. 303-920-1622, no obligation, free of charge. The man, 303-920-1622. Let's talk. You know, I would be really upset if some insurance broker changes my insurance without my knowledge or without my approval. And I want you to know this, folks. If anyone tries to pull this on you, call us. That was a previous hour call. She said when I went to look at my deductible, it was now $6,000. I had a $1,000 deductible through November of 2024. And the guy said, well, you called to change it. She said, no, he said, you didn't call, but you emailed to change it. Her email said, I'm shopping around for better rates. That's what she said. And he took it upon himself to change her to a higher deductible. This is according to her, of course. We're going to check it out. Gina, what's happening?
Hello.
Hi, Gina. What's going on?
I got a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so my car went in the shop
I got in an accident. My car went in the shop on the 23rd of May.
Yeah.
They just called me 5 minutes ago and told me that my car was in hail damage at their shop. And it's $3,100. And with the naked eye, with his eye, he can only see one dent. Well, I don't want my car, dented
Well,
up.
what you have to do is have. Now, what was it in there originally for?
Because I was in a car accident.
Okay. Oh, this is complicated. Went into a body shop for a car accident, and your insurance company was going to pay for that, right?
It's all covered.
Okay.
It wasn't my fault.
I got it. Now, on top of that, you got hail damage. And what you need to do is have your adjuster go out there. 'Cause are you covered for hail? Do you have comprehensive coverage?
Yes.
Okay, so now your insurance company has to go out and assess how much of that they'll cover the hail, and then the other company covers your car. There's two separate claims.
Okay. I was trying to figure out, well, it's your place.
No, but that doesn't matter. Well, let me put it to you this way. What if you went to the supermarket and parked your car there? Would you expect the supermarket to pay if there was a hailstorm?
No, I don't.
Now, the only way they would be responsible, Gina, is if they promised you they were going to keep it inside.
Okay.
Did they promise you that?
No, they
How
didn't.
long was
Just
your car
making me know.
there?
Since the 23rd of May.
And they have a parking lot outside. I know the body shop you're talking about. It's over on Wabash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good people. And I took my car there once, and you park outside. They have a lot. They don't promise to keep it inside. See, it's not their fault the hailstorm came, right?
No, it's just it made me piss me off.
You know, you're lucky though. It's there already being fixed. You won't notice the difference.
Yeah.
You really won't. But you're going to have.
I'm not worried about the. I'm not. I'm just. He's saying that he can only see one dent. If I don't look at it under the light, then it's only one dent.
Yeah, but why not take advantage? Why not put in an insurance claim? I mean, if you how much is your deductible?
Oh, $250.
Oh, you only have a
It's not about any of that.
Okay.
It's not about any of that. It's just. I guess I was hot headed, and I got y'all on speed dial. I got people over there.
So did you
So
think you thought at first they should pay for it, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I'm like, okay, well, y'all go ahead and take care of it.
Yeah, they're not going to.
But I know that's you just got.
No, but you know what? The whole thing. We get this call, Mark. How many times do you think?
This time of year, we get it all the freaking time.
But how would you say over the last 5 years? Wouldn't we've had at least a dozen calls about this?
Oh, more than a dozen, and
Yeah.
not just hail, but either the car gets stolen from a shop,
Right.
or the car gets vandalized, or the cat gets stolen. But it's all the exact same thing.
Right. And unless that shop had anything contributory, like did something stupid.
I like how our numbers on speed dial, though. That's cool.
Yeah, she's funny.
So
Now-
just an FYI, guys, Gina and I used to be neighbors.
Well,
Oh, that
tell
poor
Gina,
woman.
Tell Gina I'm really, 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 really sorry.
Bite me, Mark.
Now, Don, what's going on, Don? Don?
Hello, this is Don.
Hey, Don, what's going on?
Well, I'm having problems with a credit card.
Okay, what's going on with it?
Well, it's been probably about a month and a half since we've received a bill, and I haven't.
Wait a minute. A month and a half you didn't receive a bill, so you keep track of that. That's good. And so did you go online to check your statement?
No, I didn't go online, but I did make a call. And the only person I can't get a real person to talk to.
What kind of credit card is it?
It's. Can I say the name?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, it's a Sears MasterCard.
Okay, now Do you have online access to that account? Most accounts nowadays have online access. Do you have access where you can go on and see transactions and all of that?
I've never done that before.
Well, you know you can go on even now. Do you have the numbers? Do you have any record of that account, of that credit card number, and or you still have the credit card, right?
I do have. Yeah.
All right. So just go online and just open up an online account, and you put in your credit card number, and it will open up an account for you. All of them have it. And then you'll be able to see any transactions and bills you have. But why did they tell you that you're not getting a bill?
Well, they didn't tell me. I just haven't received one. And we've had the card since 1982.
They probably switched it to paperless.
They switched him without telling him, you think?
I don't know the rules on that, honestly. I thought they had to tell you, but I could be wrong.
Hey, tell me this, Don. Do you ever call them for anything?
No, not very often at all.
Well, call the number on your card and tell them you haven't received a statement.
Well, that's the number that I called, and then I got on the internet to look at.
But wait. When you called, what did they tell you?
You get on a recording. You're talking to somebody that's not really there. They just get information. They get your credit card number, and that's it. And you can't dig it any deeper. There's nobody there to talk to.
No, I mean, eventually though, there's a representative. You can dial such and such for a representative, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, I think you can, Don. Honest to God, I don't know of any credit card companies that won't have customer service. There's a number on the back of your card. You call the number, and you drill through to representative. And if they ask you for questions, like you just this all you keep saying is representative. Here's that, representative. Now, if that doesn't work, you go to the Sears MasterCard website, okay? I don't know what it is, but do you have an old statement? It'll be on your old statement. Do you have one?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Yes, I do.
Go to your old statement. Look up on the top somewhere. There's going to be a website.
Okay.
Go on that website and start an online account. It doesn't matter if you start it now. It'll have a record of all your transactions. When you go on there, then you go to the part that has the statements, and there might be something clicked that you want online statements only, and you have to unclick it and make it so you get paper statements. But here, I'm going to give you a clue. If you do get online access, forget about your paper statements. You don't need them.
Really?
But you're going to tell me, I can hear in your voice just then when you went, really? It's like a baby giving up his toy. I know, you're at that age. Let me guess, you're over 65, right?
Oh, yeah.
How old are you?
82.
You old fart. You shouldn't be using a credit card. Grow up. Hey, Don, listen, man. I'm 70. I'll tell you this. Online makes your life easier. Just when you get used to it, then you just go on and set yourself up some auto payments to pay the balance every month. But if you want a paper statement, they certainly will send them to you. Mark, I don't know of any companies that stop sending paper statements. Do you?
A lot of them will force you into it by saying, okay, if you want paper statements, we're going to charge you another half interest point, like on a car loan, for example.
You're right. Or they charge a service fee. So, Don, if you have problems doing it, I can help you off the air, but try it first. Go to your old statement, find the website, go on there and see if you can open up an account. 303-713-8255.
Go. There it is.
What's that?
I can tell you're over 65. How old are you? 82?
Well, there's a break-off, and I don't know what it is. There's some old farts that just won't do technology at all. They're just killing themselves. Like that. And they don't have to be that old. I have guys younger than me that are like just so backward. QCcolorado.com. That's the quiet, cool, whole house fan. And I'm going to tell you this. It is one of the best purchases I made for my home. Why? Because it works exactly as advertised. It's remote mounted in your attic, okay? then it's ducted to a little grate in your upper floor ceiling, and that pulls all the warm air up and out and the cool air through your house. And what you do is leave it on low speed, and it equalizes your temperatures. Your air conditioner works less. In my case, my air conditioner, honest to God, only works 20 or 30% of what it used to work. 20 or 30%. Now, you might be different, but if you get this whole house fan, one thing is for sure, you will save money. You will love the fresh, cool air. You will love the company. They do such a great job. But get it before the major heat comes. Listen, it's going to be 90 today. So go to qccolorado.com and please get it now before the rush. 303-800-3419. Made in the Shade, their window coverings business, and they're a window coverings business, and they come and do everything from laser measuring and a designer to help you pick the right stuff for the right places. Then you get this package, and you decide if you want to do it, how much of it you want to do. They try to meet your budget with the right products, and then they order it and have it installed. All one-stop shopping, Made in the Shade. denvershades.co, that's the website. It's so trouble-free. If you're moving into an old place or sprucing up the old, denvershades.co. It'll never be easier. 720-458-6566. And speaking of easy peasy, the Art of Granite, give them a call, get a price. It's that easy. Do you want granite? Well, they do everything. Now, the name says the Art of Granite, but they do everything, any kind of solid surface. In fact, they have remnants that if you use their remnants, and of course, they're brand spanking new. They're just remnants, right? If you use remnants, you get the material free. I'm not fooling you. It's free. All you pay is fabrication and installation. Call them right now, 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919, theartofgranite.com.
You guys going back to the office after this?
No, I think your day's done.
Oh, you guys started early, being
Yeah. But we have a mystery assignment tomorrow.
That's what Lee said. It's a mystery assignment.
Yeah,
He knows what
do
it
you know what
is.
it
You
is?
should've just asked him. Yeah. I mean, I need to know because I'm leaving kind of early.
You're leaving? Where are you going?
I'm going back to Georgia.
For how long?
3 days.
Why are you going back for 3 days?
Because I'm going back home and then I'm gonna hang out with my family for a little bit. I'm gonna.
But you're going to come back here for the summer?
Well, I'm getting my car and I'm driving back up here so I can do a road trip on the way back home.
Where are you going to go on the way home?
I haven't decided yet. The only place I'm like 100% sure on is I'm going up to see my grandparents in Minnesota.
Wow. So you're going to do a lot of driving. You're going from there to here, and then here to Minnesota, and then Minnesota home?
And a bunch of other places then home. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Are you just going east, or do you want to head west a little bit?
I don't know west.
What kind of car?
That's an alley.
So it's going to make the trip. It's a newer one?
That'll make the trip. It's 2018, but it should be fine.
Oh, for sure.
Audis
For
are
sure.
nice.
Now, my son is going to take his car, and I'm just concerned. He has a Tesla, though, so we got to worry about charging. But I hear they're pretty ubiquitous right now as far as charging. You can get them almost anywhere.
He can download an app on his phone and
Yeah.
see where the charging stations are. Yeah.
They actually have it on Google Maps.
I think I'd like to have an electric car in my next one. I don't know. They're wonderful.
What are the electric trucks? What's that called?
Cybertruck.
No, not the Cybertruck.
Rivians
are
look
really
nice,
People
man.
love the Rivian.
They're expensive,
I
but
think the fronts look so stupid.
They look really nice.
I like them.
The truck is really cool.
Don't they have an electric Hummer?
Yeah.
They do? Really?
Yeah, I saw.
I mean, they're like
saw it at a
90 grand minimum, right? Yeah.
I think more than that, even like over 100.
Well, they
But
lost.
they're really long and bulky. See, I have a problem with my garage. I used to have big garages. I don't anymore.
Yeah.
They have
like a they have like a Hummer truck one too. Like it has like a truck bed in the back.
I told your dad eventually that if everything goes well, we should get like charging stations in front of the office.
And company cars. When we used made the shade, I got an extra window for the exact same price Blindster was going to charge.
It's weird looking.
It is. It's kind of ugly. I'll be honest.
It would
It's
pop.
Yeah.
But come on.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. K&H Home Solutions with us in the house. By the way, you can get your calls in anytime if you want, but we're thinned out right now after a lot of calls, and it's worth reminding people a few of these really quickly. If you have homeowners insurance, okay, and they're asking you to inspect your roof or they want to come out and look at it, beware. They're dropping a lot of roofs, and they are allowed to do that. Upon renewal, they can say, we're not going to renew you unless you replace your roof. They're thinking, look, if you have an old roof, forget this crap about waiting for a storm. You put on a new roof, and you put on one that's going to hold up better in hail. And yes, they can do that. Some of them are dropping coverages altogether. Altogether. They're saying we're not covering roofs at all, or you're going to get a high deductible. And then when it comes to Safeco, Safeco is not what it used to be. Safeco used to be a good company. I think they're going downhill, and I'll tell you why. Liberty Mutual merged with them, right? And Liberty Mutual is not a great company, in my opinion. So there you go. You got a combination there that's not very good. And this one woman, Cynthia, claims they changed her policy without approval. You just can't do that. But don't put it past insurance companies to pull fast ones. As I told you, they are the scum of the earth. They are. It's the one industry where it's all negative. There is not one thing positive about an insurance industry. I mean, obviously the payouts are when you need them. I'm talking about the way the industry is run. It's all predicated on taking premiums and not wanting to pay out damages, and for stockholders and for screwing the little guy. In fact, when it comes to health insurance, they're entirely predicated on taking over health insurance and telling you what you need and don't need and what they're going to pay for it and how doctors should practice. They came into a perfectly good system and just took it over. People think medical bills, medical expenses went up because of greedy doctors and pharmaceutical companies and all of that. Well, pharmaceutical companies a little bit, but doctors, no. Doctors are actually getting paid the same or less than they have in the past for the same procedures. Actually less than 20 and 30 and 40 years ago when you adjust for inflation. What health insurance did was they came in and said, okay, now we're going to charge premiums and manage care. And it's like the mafia. They came in the middle of the provider and the patient and inserted their charges in the middle. That's what they did. It's truly protection money. It's like you didn't need them. Now, obviously, we need health insurance. I shouldn't say we didn't need them, but there are so many better models for health insurance than the model we have now, which is trying to do a managed care and low payouts, and they're trying to tell doctors how to treat patients, and they're capitating costs, meaning they're giving limits per patient per practice. They have so many practices that are just uncalled for. And they could make a ton of money doing it the other way. Kaiser's a great example of a better system. Now, you may not like Kaiser or the doctors or the clinics, but the model, it's a nonprofit model. It's in my opinion, the only way a health insurance can work, because there shouldn't, with a profit incentive, you automatically have a decentive. You're not incentivized to give great health care. It's the other way around. And then we had a woman who had her car damaged at a shop with hail. We're going to get this a lot. People have their cars at places, and it gets hailed on, and somehow feel that place is responsible. Well, it was fine when I brought it here, and then it's sitting outside, and it gets hailed on. In fact, if you have a valet service, we've had calls on this, where a valet will take the car and park it. There's a hailstorm. they deliver the car back to you after dinner, and now you figure, oh my God, not only did I have a bad dinner and bad service, now I have a car returned to me with hail damage. They're not responsible for it. Nope. It just doesn't happen that way. So K&H Home Solutions, when we're talking about siding, we already talked about there's nothing new under the sun, or at least I don't think there is coming down the pike. I wish there was. And you said James Hardy, the cementitious, or whatever, however they call it, that's kind of good. And it's a, what is it, a cementitious material mixed with wood?
It's a fiber cement, so it's 98%.
So there's no wood?
There's a little bit of wood fibers in there, just to make it a little bit more pliable.
Now, so when you hold it, can you snap it?
You shouldn't be able to snap it with your bare hands.
It's pretty flexible. How thick are they?
They are about
quarter
3.5 inches on the depth on the trim around the window.
Well,
so the trim is way thicker.
Well, trim, but what about the siding?
The siding itself is about an inch.
Is it that thick?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Okay. And then as far as windows, we're talked about Alpine windows, Provia windows. What else is there truly for exteriors of homes that might get people excited? There's not much.
Doors, windows.
Well, okay, what I'm saying is nothing new, though, really, with doors, right? I mean, there's no real new technology. Doors are doors are doors, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, the reason we work with Provia doors is they're definitely made a lot better. They'll last a lot longer. When you again,
well, how do you make a door different?
You can make a door different by, like you said, the insulation, how thick it is.
And then the thickness of the door itself, the steel door.
Correct.
Now, they used to have a really big problem with southern-facing steel doors burning the crap out of people. I mean, really, this was a real problem. Like, kids would get third-degree burns, first-degree burns. But what happens now? I mean, is it the color? Do you make them more reflective? Is there any technology involved in this? Any ceramic paints that can cut down on the temperature buildup?
There is, but if you're south-facing, no overhang, and you want a black door and it's steel, I would not recommend it.
No, you can
you
cook eggs on it.
You want to go to fiberglass at that point.
Okay, so fiberglass is not as sensitive to heat at all.
Correct.
So wait a minute. They make an exterior door for fiberglass.
Correct.
Insulated.
Yep.
That looks like wood.
You can either get it where it looks like wood.
Why would you always get that? Why would you ever get a metal door? Tell me what's the difference?
It just depends on what you're looking for. With fiberglass, you're going to have the doors that look like wood without actually being wood.
I know, and that sounds like a good option.
We sell more fiberglass doors than we do steel doors now, and it's really switched. We used to be a ton of steel doors, and now
But they look, I imagine they look really good because fiberglass can mimic almost any surface.
Correct. Yep.
So you can get a dark, rich wood look on that?
Oh, yeah. They have grains, too. You have firs and cedars and maples and cherries and knotty alders.
You have knotty stuff, too?
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to get really up close to see that it's not...
I'll tell you a story. We were installing a door. I was with Theron, who's one of our main door installers. Yeah. Guy across the street yelled at us from across the street. We couldn't hear him. He came closer. He said, "That looks amazing. That wood is fantastic." And we said, "No, it's fiberglass."
Wow.
He said, I work with wood. And he had to come up close, touch it, and feel it, and then he realized it was fiberglass.
Does it actually have a texture on the surface too?
Yeah, and the knotty alder has the knots in it.
Oh, come on, man! Really?
Yep,
that's
absolutely.
Pretty cool. I didn't realize it. I would never get steel then. Knowing that, I would never get steel because you get it insulated. It's not hot or cold. And it's firm as hell, hail resistant, wouldn't it be?
Hail resistant, yeah. They use a lot thicker fiberglass.
And then what about you can get lights in them, windows?
Yep. Pretty much any size window. You can get half circles.
Now, are the entire
rectangles.
frames and everything, like the side lights and all that, made from fiberglass?
Yep. Anywhere but.
And it's virtually maintenance free, isn't it?
It is virtually maintenance free, yeah.
Do they come pre-painted?
You pre-stain for the fiberglass.
Now, when you say pre-stain, meaning the color of stain, it's not actually stain, right?
It is stained and then it's baked on almost in a kiln.
Wow. Man, I honest to goodness, I didn't realize that they had come that far with fiberglass exterior
And
doors.
Provia specifically, fiberglass doors are the ones that look extremely realistic. So not only are you getting an energy efficient product, but the aesthetics of it is second to none.
Because I have a wood door, I can't keep a finish on it. Now, Steve the painter is going to be doing it again, and he says in Colorado, and I am south facing.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah, these Provia doors really they last. And if you're going to go buy a fiberglass door at one of the box stores, it's not going to last. But when you have a Provia product, it absolutely will.
All right, people, give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW. Denver.
I didn't realize they were so good. You can't tell.
No. Like I said, this guy was a woodworker. He worked with wood, and he was dumbfounded when he came up to it.
Do you know when I put in Provia, K&H comes up?
Why?
You put it
search
in?
you piece of...
That's pretty good search.
Other than Renewal by Anderson, we sell more Provia in the state than anybody. And Renewal is a whole different ball game.
What's that?
Renewal by Anderson is a whole different. Yeah, I mean, they're the biggest one in the nation, I believe. So.
Yeah. What are they made of?
The Renewal windows, it's Fibrex, so it's 60% vinyl and then 40% sawdust. So they come into the house and they talk about how vinyl's terrible and don't buy vinyl and blah blah blah. Their window is made mostly of vinyl. It's just a proprietary material that they've made that's got some proprietary stuff in it, and it looks like fiberglass, but it's mostly vinyl. And they charge an arm and a leg for it. It's astronomical how much they charge. The Alpen windows are 100 times better than those fiberglass ones. Or the
You want to save money, big time money. Then you want Europlumbing, Colorado.net. You want them to do your water heater. Listen to this: a water heater starting at $13.99, fully installed, with the old one torn out and hauled away. You can't beat that. Or $14.99 for a 50-gallon tank. Yeah, I know. If you're a plumber right now, you're scratching your head wondering how they do it. I don't know. I'm just happy they do, because a lot of people are saving a ton of money at Europlumbing, Colorado.net, 303-668-6844. Hey, if you want to save money in car repairs, I can't promise you're going to get the cheapest price, but you'll get the most honest price and a great value, and really someone who will never mislead you, and that's Sheridan Auto Tech. Now, that's a lot to be said about an auto repair facility, but I know the whole crew, and I can tell you can just drive by with a quick problem. They'll throw a scope on it to figure out what's going on, the code readers. Or, of course, you can take it in a car for a pre-buy inspection if you're looking at a used car. SheridanAutotech.com on Colfax west of Wadsworth, worth the drive no matter where you're coming from. 303-455-7242.
I have no idea what your project your dad's talking about. I was thinking about it. I'm not sure.
Right.
Unless your brother and Jess have come back with something.
I get it. You don't look guilty.
I really am thinking I can't. I mean, we got projects going on, but I don't know what he would have you guys involved in.
Like shine it and like shoes or something.
I mean, my truck could be used for cleaning, but
I said maybe we run like a snow cone truck at the front of the office all day.
Nice, that sounds good.
It
could
be
your dad's gonna go sing get some steaks.
We need a Jersey day at work.
Jersey day?
New Jersey.
Oh, I am looking forward to when he gets jailed.
LSU
And I'm also looking forward to when Hunter, because and Hunter is gonna skate on all the charges.
Because they're gonna.
And that is going to be a beautiful thing. Yep. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Because on the sheet it says you know,
I retain Mike.
No,
I'm a big Yankees fan.
So they'll fight that.
I didn't even know your dad was Jewish. I'm like, dynasty?
Agreed.
That's Jewish?
It's not real.
Yeah, I don't know how many people I'm supposed to tell that.
Who's on 6?
Your mama.
How about you?
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for calling the Tom Martino Show.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think we're telling a lot of people now.
Okay, who's this? Oh, okay. Hang on.
My brother went to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. No, he went.
I think they think they're a good person by doing all of these good things, not realizing good in the short term versus good in the long term. Long term good is going to hurt now. Yeah.
I think they're just trying to be nannies of all of us, and they are way too much into this woke shit. I'll tell you that.
I do. But you probably lost more college football. It is so fucking off balance. College football, they got you.
I'm not a big college
Yep.
football person.
They got you.
College football?
Wait, so what?
It is now with
Coach
Coach Prime.
What school do you like?
I root for CU and I root for UNC because I went to college. I played baseball in college, but it was a Division II school.
Right.
Seminole wasn't very big, so they play in the NCAA tournament, but they get knocked out in the first round every year. So I root for them too, but it's not a big deal.
Okay.
But my buddy who went to college with, he has season tickets to the CU football games, and he almost gave them up the year before Prime got hired. So he's super happy that he kept them.
I would still just take him for
30 seconds.
it's not like you're going to be.
Then you also get north and south.
He's a financial advisor.
When they're rotating.
So he does his
What I'm
events
saying
at
is,
the
you
tailgate.
actually,
That's a big deal for him.
it can't affect it like you're saying. It could,
It doesn't always go
if it was static. It could in a dome or something. But man, there's so they purposely don't talk about that shit.
Yep.
Run.
Money.
And why are so many people drowning in Colorado already this summer? How to make sure you're not one of them. Join us at 4.
Hi, Tom Martino. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Steve the Painter's on. We were talking about wood. Oh, my God, is wood a pain in the ass? Steve the Painter, what do you have to say about it, sir?
Well, I'd have to say that, back, this had been 15, 20 years ago, they did come out with fiberglass front doors, and they were the best doors I think I've ever seen. They don't warp. They're easy to
That's
take
what he's
care
talking
of.
about.
Say that again?
He's talking about fiberglass front doors.
Yeah, well, they talked about fiberglass front. I didn't know. Or is he talking about front doors or overhead doors?
No, he's talking about front doors.
Front entry
Yeah,
doors.
those are the greatest things ever. I mean, they're easy to work with. Now, your front door, you have to have perfect conditions even to refinish it. You can't be too hot. Can't have no moisture. All these variables got to come into effect. So, but just give you a heads up. We were thinking about doing your front door possibly next week, if that works for you.
Yeah. And I'll give you the code for that if I'm not there, but I'm usually there during the show. But, Steve, listen, man, you even said no matter how you do it, it'll have to be redone how often?
With your door facing that west right there, and you don't really have a lot of soffit.
I think it faces south.
Maybe every 4 years or so.
I mean, but
you got to look at the bottom panels.
Well, that would be good, but I'll tell you, it's really, really amazing what sun can do to the finish of a home. Now, do they make they must make some really good paints right now, don't they, that resist that kind of deterioration, Steve?
Yeah, it's really not paint. It's more of a polyurethane.
Yeah, I'm talking
if they
about
use
now for siding and stuff or whatever. I don't even know what you do paint nowadays on the outside of a house. When you go to paint a house, what are they made of right now? I'm serious. What are you mostly seeing?
We're mostly seeing exterior. Well, you can go to Sherwin-Williams,
But what are you painting over? What are you painting over other than the trim?
We're painting over hardy boards. We're just picked up a job doing hardy board siding, so we'll be doing that here in another few weeks. And you just paint an exterior, good quality exterior satin paint. Don't use flat paint; it will not hold up. Satin paint beads off the water, and it'll last you twice as long.
And how long will a paint job last in Colorado if you do it really right?
Well, I don't know. I have jobs going on close to 10 years.
Really? That's incredible.
It's recommended every 7 years or so and it really depends on where you live too in Colorado. If you live up in the hills, oh yeah, you're going to get maybe 7 years out of it.
I always meant to ask you this. My Stephanie's dad was a bricklayer and mason guy, and he invented or perfected lightweight concrete for architectural design and all that. He was really big into stone and concrete and brick. And he used to have a conniption, literally, when he saw people painting brick. And Stephanie, she still does. She goes, "Oh my God, why? Why would you take a maintenance-free surface?" Now, I'm going to ask you: have you ever had to paint? Have you ever had people want you to paint their brick?
Yes, and it's very expensive.
Why? It absorbs the hell. It keeps it sucks in paint, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, you have to. It's almost having to use a block filler in order to prime it. And then you roll 2 coats over the top of that. That's why it can get.
But does it hold paint? It seems to me you're ruining it to begin with. But does it hold paint? Does it hold up better than something else you would paint?
Oh yeah, you'll hold up just fine. It's just that you lose the whole brick aspect.
Yeah, of course.
I just like the brick aspect. Leave it alone. You'll never have to worry about it. You power wash it and you're done.
Now we were talking about stucco, and I know Mark over at Genesis Total Exteriors, he talks about the top coat, the hard coat having color built in it. But I imagine you have to go repaint stucco from time to time after some years. Is that only if they want to change the color, or have you seen stucco need paint?
No, we painted a house in Golden, and it went the same color. But you use a special paint for stucco. You have to tell the people at the paint store you're using this on stucco.
And what's different about the paint for stucco?
It has more vehicle to it. It has a lot more bonding units to it.
So what happens to the original stucco if the hard coat has paint built in? Does it leach out? Does it fade? What does it do?
Over time, it will fade, yeah. Because the way they do it with stucco is that, you got the stucco, but they add a pigment to it. So you get your stucco, they add pigment to it, they mix it in a big mixer, and then they trial it on. There's your color you need. But over time, it will fade.
Okay, so as far as the stucco itself, though, it's pretty hardy and it takes paint very well.
Oh yeah, you'll hold up forever. As long as it's that newer stucco. I mean, even its hail won't even damage that
now,
stuff.
Is there anything that you can do for people that want to change the color of windows, like if it's a vinyl window?
No. Nothing that I saw ever.
Nothing really holds up, does it?
No,
but fiberglass holds paint pretty well, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. You could prime it. You prime it with, again, a special primer. Then you could do that. But any vinyl window, God, Tom, if you remember right, years ago, you had a lady in Highlands Ranch that the guy went out there. What did he say? You're something about a dog chasing a dog bone or something.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy. Yes, yeah.
That guy.
His name was Kalen, and I know. It was a long story, but anyway, she called.
It's a long story. Anyway, his painter painted the vinyl windows.
Ooh.
And it was already peeling off before they even finished the job. So it doesn't work.
Now, somebody just texted me, knowing you're on the phone here. They want to know what paints or colors chalk. Now, we've mentioned that at least 3 times today's show. Chalking is where you get this powdery look on the outside, and you can almost, when you put your finger on it, it is almost like a chalk. What causes that? Are there paints? Are there cheaper paints or different color paints that will chalk?
No, almost any paint will do it, but certain colors, because of the pigment, will do it quicker, like greens, blues, yellows, burgundy colors. Those colors fade very fast, and over time they chalk. And what it's telling you is that you're ready for another paint job.
And what is chalking really?
You know.
Is it a deterioration of the outer coat?
Yes, it's starting to fail. And once it goes beyond that, then it starts going into the siding. The siding starts really deteriorating. Then it gets into the top layer of the siding, and now you have a serious problem because now you're not only painting, but you have siding replacement.
Someone else wants to know about a fence they have that's iron, and they want to redo it. Now, does that have to be done? What kind of paint takes to iron?
Now they have most materials now come out waterborne. It's a waterborne product. Back in the day, they used to use oils, and now because of EPA, they've gone to a waterborne unit, and it's a polyurethane.
Is it good?
And oh yeah, we did a commercial building in Aurora, all these iron handrails and columns.
Yeah.
And to this day, that was 10 years ago, and it still looks good.
Wow.
I was amazed. You wash your brush up with water. That's all it is.
Okay, Steve, Star Quality Painting. Give out your number since you're on. Go ahead.
Oh, office phone number, 303-948-8765.
Star Quality. They're on our referral list at referralist.com. More with K&H after this. He's very interesting when it comes to paint.
Mm-hmm.
He's very interesting with painting. He's been around a long time.
Yeah. He knows his stuff.
You don't have a painting crew for anything?
We don't. You know, with Lee taking over, we're now debating bringing it on. But no, we haven't. We have a couple of companies we refer out, but
I'm telling you, that is something that is such a natural adjunct to what you guys do.
Yeah.
So is insulation too, but you don't.
Well, you know, Ted used to do insulation.
It's a pain in the ass.
And then he stopped doing it.
Yeah, not a big profit center.
And you know,
a
with
lot of
me,
labor.
It's hard taking on too much though, because you stick to what you're good at. You don't want to spread yourself too thin.
Diversification helps though with different market conditions, but you're right.
Yeah, we're doing some wet areas now, some bath and shower.
Yeah, I know. I advertised that for you guys before, and then you let up for the Alpine windows, but that's mostly big.
Oh shit! What the hell? Sure enough, there's no freaking fuck. All right. That's what I get for being dumb.
Dan McKenzie is an estate planning attorney. I urge you to call him if you're looking to preserve your assets. And you can do it through a trust, through a will. He has a creative way of using LLCs to actually have a partnership with your kids to pass through assets. You know, Dan McKenzie is forward-thinking, and he's a smaller law firm and really gives you personalized attention, whether you're looking for a will or a trust or a combination of the two, anything to do with estate planning, or if you're facing probate, 833-CO-PLANS, 833-CO-PLANS, or coplans.co. Now, let's talk about Discount Bath. I love talking about baths, and Discount Bath is doing such a great job for people. I'm getting great reviews. And they can do an entire bath. They can do part of a bath, and they can do it at a budget. They tear out and haul away free, and that is up to a $3,000 savings. They have all kinds of finishes, and they urge you to call them because it takes no time to give you a full and complete thorough bid at discountbath.com. Look at their beautiful website. Give them a call, 720-979-2322. Right now is the time to get carpets clean. ZeroResDenver.com. I mean, come on. We have such good reasons to use ZeroRes. First and foremost, they get your carpets really clean. And when I say really clean, I mean all the crap from previous cleanings are removed, all the garbage, all the residue, because no matter what system you use, if it's not ZeroRes, using purified, softened water. If it's not that, you're going to have crap left behind. Get rid of it and never have it again. It's healthier for you and your kids, so health and cleanliness, aren't they two great reasons to use Zero Res? It's the reason it's the only carpet cleaner I'll let in my home. 303-471-5150. ZeroResDenver.com. They got a 50-gallon drum. They're burning these drugs. 50-gallon drum.
Did he send you them?
Yeah. And they're standing around there, no protection, right in a residential neighborhood. Louisiana just approved a law to castrate child sex offenders. Jesus.
What does it mean?
It means cutting off their genitals.
A little extreme, but
not 100%.
yeah.
Surgical castration.
What state was that? Louisiana.
It's your state right there.
Yeah, watch out.
What?
Better be careful. Your activities in town.
Okay.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. By the way, I also wanted to mention that Michael mentioned during the break, and K&H does do bathrooms now. Are you guys going to do more and more interior stuff, or are you going to stick to the exteriors and just bathrooms are just one of the things you're doing, or what? What are your plans?
You know, I don't know for sure. I mean, we're the experts at the exterior of the house, and we took on the wet area, so the bath and the tub this year.
Yeah.
As far as the plans for more interior stuff, I'm not sure if that's on the plate. But exterior is more.
Do you guys still do screens? You used to do a lot of that.
We will rescreen windows, especially if you bought them from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You could bring them into the office, we'll rescreen them, or we can send our guys out there to rescreen.
Somebody else texted me asking about what they call a vanishing screen door. I say get rid of it. They're pieces of junk. That's my opinion. But those are roll-up verticals. Are they still even around?
They're here and there, but they fall apart really quickly.
They really do. They just don't hold up, and dust and debris gets in that screen, and when you roll it up, it gets into the mechanism. I mean, the idea at first, it was really like a wow, like the toothpaste pump, but it just didn't stick around.
Provia used to carry one, and they stopped carrying it because they had issues with it.
Exactly. I mean, it's okay. And then sliding glass doors. Can they be replaced easily for more of a French door? Do you have can you just replace it, or do you have to do a lot of modification?
No, you can absolutely replace a sliding patio door with a French door, or vice versa. The sizes
I don't
are
know.
slightly different.
Aren't sliding doors more old hat, or people love them still?
People still like them. They're more energy efficient, and they create more of a space in your house. When you have a French door, if it's swinging
you're right.
in, you're going to lose a little bit of space.
All right, by the way, when they're not here, you can go to khwindows.com, 303-421-7100. And remember, I'm at 303 Martino 24/7. Leave a message and we will get back to you. 303-627-8466. Save all your problems for me.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Blue Sky CBD has been helping me with my nagging aches and pains and trouble sleeping for years. But take a listen to these reviews from people just like you. I use the Max Relief Balm 2 to 3 times per week, and my neck pain is so much better. This CBD is by far the most helpful thing I've tried in helping me reduce my anxiety. The Max Relief Balm has given me instant relief that really lasts from my chronic inflammation. These gels are great in helping me with my hip and sciatica pain. I'm now sleeping again with the Blue Sky CBD sleep gels. You're going to find hundreds and hundreds of similar reviews at bluesky-cbd.com. That's bluesky-cbd.com. So if you're struggling with nagging aches and pains or maybe trouble sleeping and you're sick of using pharmaceuticals, you owe it to yourself to try Blue Sky CBD. And keep in mind that the promo code KHOW gives you an ongoing 30% discount on all of your orders. That's promo code KHOW, KHOW, at bluesky-cbd.com.
We've become so much more than a fixed frequency from a radio tower. Take your radio with you. 630 KHOW is now available on multiple platforms and thousands of devices. Listen to Denver's talk station from anywhere.
A stream online
at KHOW.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. The exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Rising tensions in the Middle East, including Lebanon now, where gunfire rang out overnight at the U.S. Embassy in Beirut. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller says the embassy now closed and one guard was wounded.
One member of the embassy's local guard force was seriously injured. The gunman was arrested after the incident. The U.S. Embassy remains in contact with the Lebanese authorities as they investigate the incident.
President Biden arriving in France today ahead of D-Day commemorations tomorrow. French authorities, meantime, say Monday a Russian-Ukrainian national was arrested at a hotel near the Charles de Gaulle airport. Firefighters found him with severe burns following an explosion. Authorities say they found materials to make explosive devices. The Senate expected to take up a test vote today on a measure to guarantee federal protections for birth control. It comes as the battle over abortion access